There they go. What up, family? Right back at you. Black Alpha Network, certified. Y'all know what it is. FBA all damn day. How many of y'all got tether fatigue right now? Y'all got tether fatigue? Because I think we got just as much tether fatigue as tethers are fatigued. And you know you got to be fatigued if you've been running, hopping, skipping, jumping, keep swimming, you've been stealing. Anything the foundational Black Americans do, all these people got a little piece of it. They want some. It's to the point now, y'all, where they're trying to take every single aspect of our life, but they can't have none. They trying to steal every single aspect of our style, of our fashion, of our music, of our culture, but they can't have none. Ain't it funny, y'all? The same people say we ain't got no culture, spend their whole damn life trying to emulate our culture, and they get mad when we call them tether. So let me start this broadcast off by saying, tether, 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 tether mama, tether daddy, tether grandpa, tether village. Every single aspect about your life is a tether. So you add that up once, twice, three times a tether. And we in the goddamn building. Certified salute to y'all. It's time. Because you know it's going to be an FBA summer because it always is. And you know we going to be on code because we always are. And in the process of all of that, family, we going to check everybody who stands in our damn way. Sounds good? That's right. If y'all been seeing, there's been this debate going, and we're going to get right to it today, family. Because y'all know, when they're talking about a tether, there's no need for no big introduction. We already know who they are. They're the people always behind us with some foo-foo and some jollof and trying to steal our stuff, okay? So you know who it is, okay? But listen, family, there's been this whole thing about Juneteenth. And there's always a thing about Juneteenth. You know, now that we've been on code, you notice how many things changed as soon as the reparations generation showed up? Nobody was trying to steal our culture before. No. Remember, we not the original Black people. We need to go home. You guys come back to Africa. Now it's can I come to America? They done came to America more times than Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. And every time they come to America, their feet still ashy. They still can't speak proper English, and they still smell like a musty Uber 3 damn blocks away. And foundational Black Americans just been calling it out. Don't be mad, be glad. Okay, that's what you need to do. So they trying to get Juneteenth, and we told them for the last few years that Juneteenth belongs to us. You can't have that. Now, if you want a zebra in your village, fine. You want some foo-foo, fine. You want some bushmeat, fine. Take it. Don't be mad that we don't want what you got, but you want everything that we have. And it started to trickle down into the South. See, you had some sisters stand up, and certified salute to the sisters, because I've been seeing foundational Black American sisters doing the most regulating when it comes to these tethers and Juneteenth. And I'm going to show everybody. Oh, we in. Y'all smash that like button. Here we go, family. So they try to start talking about Juneteenth and Caribbean culture and African culture and just trying to blend themselves in with us. We know how they do. And then they start telling people in the North, they start saying, y'all go down to the South, kind of just saying we colonizing. They think they're going to tether colonize the North. Can we get this straight? Okay, because I know the North is represented in here. I know we got the East Coast. I know we got the Midwest. But let's make this clear, fam. We ain't going to be on none of that tribalism that they be on. See, they're trying to start some tribal beefs so they can come on in and take Juneteenth. You feel me? They can come on in and get reparations. Now the tethers have got to the point where if they can't shoe hand and they can't tether themselves onto our FBA lineage, they're going to start trying to get us to battle each other. And that's what you're seeing right now. That's what you're seeing. Remember a few weeks ago, you seen that one person come out and they was talking about how they don't know how to dress in the South. That was a tether. Okay, you knew it was a tether because it's about 4 football fields wide. I'm talking about the forehead. Okay, so you knew it was a tether. And the same tethers that were sitting on the reparations panels 2 years ago are the same tethers now who are trying to take our foundational Black American culture and put divides in it. I'm not going to fight my brother in a different region just because you got tribalism and you fight the person on the other side of the elephant. That's between you and Dumbo. Okay, I'm not going to fight my foundational Black American sister because she's on the other side of the neighborhood, because you fight people on the other side of the water well. We're not going down that tribalism. Nobody who fights about zebras, elephants, water wells, and jollof is going to get me to fight my foundational Black American brother nor sister. It ain't happening. But that's what they're trying to do now. And brothers and sisters ain't going for it. So when we say the tethers is wrapped up, done for, they wrapped up and done for. And I got to send the biggest certified salute to everybody out there who've been standing on business, because standing on business is the only way you're going to get done. So on this broadcast, we're going to talk about all these tethers from the Caribbean and Africa and the diaspora, and we're going to talk about how we checking them, run them out the paint. Then we're going to talk about some of these $1, $2 want to be foundational Black Americans out here. And then on top of that, we're going to say, who is the original indigenous native to the United States of America? You're looking at us, family, foundational Black American certified Black society. And I'm going to also show everybody how now the Trump administration is rounding up and locking up a hell of a lot of these want to be Native Americans. Yeah, because we have exposed to the point that they can't hide no more. You notice why you've been seeing so many $2 tontos running around here so mad and upset? I'm going to tell you why. Because our research, our facts, and simply just going by off of what Grandma said. Family, I'm going to go ahead and make this declaration. What Grandma told us about our Native American heritage has won. Grandma has been victorious. So all the money, all the tontos, all the Pocahontases, all the 2-bottle liquors that they drink on their reservations, it cannot stand up to our certified nation. And now Grandma has made that point that we are the originators and they got to see it. So this is why they're crashing out. Oh, it's going to be a hell of a broadcast. Y'all strap in. Let's go all the way to work. They've been talking reckless, family. Hell yeah. Telling us that they just going to celebrate whatever the hell they want to celebrate, however the hell they want to celebrate it. And brothers and sisters ain't going for it. This right here, if you can tell by the circumference of that forehead, is a tether. And the tethers now are trying to talk about Juneteenth and tribalism, putting that off on us. Juneteenth is for certified foundational Black Americans and not dusty, musty tethers.
About the whole Juneteenth and NYC and the nonsense behind that. The sugar that was coming from the sugar plantations in the West Indies was bought by people who were plantation owners in New York State to be shipped up here, milled and made into rum, to then be shipped back down the Hudson River to be sold in New York, back to the colonies of the West Indies and overseas to Europe. Mercantilism is the reason why slavery happened in America and the West Indies. I don't care that Juneteenth was founded by Black Americans. Every Black person who came on this side of the New World was affected by slavery. Shut up, enjoy the holiday, have a nutcracker.
What the do Juneteenth got to do with some goddamn sugar? Are you serious? How are you going to come to somebody else's shit, try to hijack their holiday, celebrating their history that ain't got a damn thing to do with nobody else? Only FBA history in America, nothing to do with no other country. And then you be talking about shut up and I'm going to celebrate myself during your holiday. Shut up. That's the most disrespectful shit I have ever seen in my life. You're going to come to somebody else's house and try to take over and say, I'm finna celebrate. Like, let's say if it was somebody else's birthday, you go to their house. You come up in there, everybody shut up. I'm finna celebrate myself for your birthday. Ain't this some more disrespectful? No, you shut the up. Sit the down, shut the up, and enjoy Juneteenth, the holiday for foundational Black Americans that celebrates when we were all freed, all together in the U.S., in United States of America. Nowhere else and nobody else. You can enjoy the holiday. You can enjoy the parade, celebration, whatever. Shut the up, sit the down, and enjoy. Because you're a guest in this house. If you don't like it, get the Okay, that's like we going to some other holiday, whatever that Haitian flag they were talking about, and say, y'all shut the up. We finna celebrate ourselves. Fuck Haiti. Come on now. The disrespect gotta stop. I'm serious.
I was having a conversation about the whole June.
Damn, talk your talk, sister. Oh man, I love being a foundational Black American. I know they don't love the fact that foundational Black Americans been holding it down. I get it. I understand. But you're going to have to deal with it because you can't check it. You can't check it. Guarantee you that. Y'all see these disrespectful, dusty, musty ass tethers? Dirty and ain't worthy. Ashy and ain't classy. And think they're going to come up in the house of foundational Black Americans. No. See, we used to tell people, take your shoes off at the door. Now we tell them, your ass can't even come over here. Matter of fact, damn the house, I don't want you coming on my block. If we're going to go ahead and separate, delineate, we're going to do it all the way. See, we ain't going to halfway delineate. We're going to fully delineate. So if that's how you feel about certified foundational Black Americans and you want to disrespect us on our day, remember you're disrespecting our ancestors, family. Let's go there. When you start talking about Juneteenth belongs to you, you're also saying a slap right in the face to our foundational Black American ancestors is worthy. You're saying that it's deserving. It ain't just us that you disrespecting. Remember, y'all, anytime somebody disrespects you, they disrespecting your loved ones. Who do we love more than our ancestors? Because without them, we wouldn't be here. So the fact that somebody gonna come over here with their forehead wide and all side, with their hairline looking like it's about to swan dive off the back of their neck and disrespect foundational Black Americans, hell no. So they can get mad all they want to, they can be upset, but we gonna crank it up a notch. Damn these tellers. Every last tether who come over here, and for all the folks who call us and say, I just want to let you know that we not all bad. Some of us are good. I don't give a damn. Don't tell me. You go tell your friend. Go tell your tether twin. Don't come over here, family. See, we as foundational Black Americans, we hit people to the game. So if you come around here and you starting to snuggle up next to one of our domestic ops, a demo, we're going to be like, hey, stay away from that person. Ain't no good. But see, we done G-checked our own ops and our own COONs to the point they don't bother nobody else. But these people got all these folks who go around the world and they come over here and try to bother us. Yeah. So right now, family, I'm holding all them folks accountable. It don't goddamn matter. All right. Because the good ones need to go ahead and stop the bad ones. We're going to deal with it the same way we do with supremacy. All right. Because it's starting to become a front. Family, is it becoming a front lightweight? Are they starting to play the games of the dominant society a little bit? Are we starting to see some Teos? Are some Teos popping up? Because what does the dominant society do? The dominant society sends out a bad one and they send out a good one. And then the good one plays a cover for the bad one, right? They'll send out Karen and Ken, good cop, bad cop. I'm not like him. I'm your friend. Then how come you can't stop your friend? And they'll have you playing that forever. Are the tethers starting to do that now, y'all? Doesn't it look like the tethers are starting to show up in every bad tether? You see someone who claims they's a good tether. There ain't no such thing as a good tether. All right, at all, especially when you see them running around doing this right here. Y'all look at the disrespect on your screen. My brothers and sisters, my beautiful foundational Black American brothers and sisters. Okay, shout out to y'all. Somebody tell me. I see Payroll, I see Miriam, I see FBA Queen. Shout out to y'all. Y'all see this? You see the shameless activities amongst these people? You see how they don't really give a damn? See, this is a culture. You got to understand, you guys. Tethering is a culture. Tethering does not just go on with the ones and the twos. Tethering goes on with the threes and the fours. By the time you got tetherism this bad, what you really have is a culture of unchecked tethers. And this is what it is. You don't just get tethers out of nowhere. Typically, when you come across a tether and you see somebody saying Juneteenth, celebrating Afro-Caribbean culture, typically when you see that right there, family, that's a bunch of COON that ain't never got checked. So when we say that these people are out of bounds and out of line, that's exactly what we mean by it. You wouldn't have these individuals if the other individuals put a stop to it a long time ago. So it's not beyond us to call these people out, and it's not beyond us to say, all of y'all are tethers until further notice. Y'all want to get in on the until further notice game? Because that's where the movement has to get to, okay? We got to get to the further notice. Because what I've been noticing is you can see 352 COONs. Somebody going to try to write a pass for the next one that shows up. You can see 135 tethers. Somebody going to write a pass for the next one that shows up. So what we simply doing now is we saying, damn the one in front of me, damn the one who's coming up behind, damn the one today, damn the one tomorrow, next week, the day after, next year, 3037, all they asses is tethers until further notice, because that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be, fam. You're going to have a culture, you're not. Because you got to understand, when the dominant society came up with an erasure, the first thing he did was look for what? Recruits. So he found all his recruits. He said, how can I go get me somebody that's ready and willing to steal FBA culture? Because this is all contrived. This is all contrived. There's nothing that goes on to this level that you don't see the hands of the Mayo community. That's why we have coined the term Teo. Anytime you see a Mayo and a Tether, you got a Teo. This has all been set up. This is all orchestrated, my brothers and sisters. This is what he said. He looked like the Congo convention. Absolutely. They said we need somebody who's willing to steal FBA culture. Because in the mind of the dominant society, they're simply thinking we can either A, deal with foundational Black Americans who are full-time riders, or we can go get some docile, subservient people. And the dominant society who operates off of soft targets, they never wanted to deal with the riders. Never. So they said, let's go find us some people who won't be riders. And then we'll put them in the place of the ones who do ride. This has been contrived for years. So you can talk about the Tether, who's got the big forehead and a janky hairline, or you could talk about the $2 Tonto, who's getting drunk as a skunk on the reservation right now. Fam, they're the Tethers of color. They're the Tethers of color. Every last one of their asses, the all Tethers of color. And every time you see them, you see the same type of activity and the same type of behavior. So now they're going to see the same behavior from us. What is that behavior, fam? Full-time regulating, and every last one of their asses are Tethers until further notice. You want Juneteenth? Well, your ass can have it and celebrate it and rock with it back in your homeland. See, it all started with this individual right here. Okay. Now, you know it's something when the gap in the teeth is as wide as the forehead. All right. But this is where it started. Okay. Because they've been out here trying to do this tribalism game for a long time. So this individual comes out, start talking about Juneteenth and hip hop and music. And one of our FBA sisters out there in New York was like, yo, this ain't got nothing to do with the Caribbean. This ain't got nothing to do with the diaspora. This is all about foundational Black American culture. And the next thing you know, fam, all you saw was Tethers go run to the damn internet and go cry to mommy and zaddy and say FBAs being means to me. And you've seen it time and time again. Ain't nothing worse than a dusty musty.
This is to all the transplants. Leave New York City. It's no reason why y'all are complaining about Caribbean music being played when Jamaican, Haitians, and Trini run majority of this city. And the Dominicans. I'm not going to forget the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans too. Get out of here, because there's no reason why I should be seeing on Twitter people complaining about Caribbean music at a party in New York. I don't know if I'll remember, but this city is literally the Caribbean. Get out of here.
Had always been about Caribbean culture and the culture of New York as far as parties and shit go. That's literally it. Y'all are sitting in my comments fighting for your life, trying to explain how you're not xenophobic while being xenophobic in my comments.
Y'all issues are with the DJs, okay? End the conversation. Y'all issues are with the DJs. I am a first generation Caribbean person. My dad's from Guyana, my mom's from Grenada. But us as Caribbean people here, like the things I've been seeing, like very xenophobic and stuff, but it's like, damn, we ain't do nothing. We just attend, we just vibe.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shiki. Happy Juneteenth. As we are celebrating the emancipation and liberation of our African American brothers and sisters, I want to remind you to continue to use the sound in this video to continue to spread the word on the liberation, the true liberation of our Haitian brothers and sisters, of our Haitian.
Freeze. Y'all see that right there? Y'all caught that? Look what she did. That right there is tethering to the definition. Notice what she says, fam. She throws out a little dog bone real quick to us. Oh, shout out to all of my Black Americans. This is about you. However, I want everyone to remember that this video is truly about the liberation of Haiti. I thought Haiti was liberated in 1804. That's what they always telling us whenever we start saying they not like us. They say, well, we've been free since 1804. So how come in 2020 anything do you got to latch on to Juneteenth? I see what you just did there. I see what you did, Wyclef. I see what you did, Kodak Black. I see it. You use FBA Juneteenth Day to spin it into some type of awareness about Haiti. Can you just do anything that is specifically, exclusively, and only for yourself without attaching FBA to it, without attaching Black Americans, without attaching Juneteenth? Can you just keep it Haiti? Can you just keep it Barbados? Can you just keep it Africa? Or do you got to tie every last breath you take into foundational Black Americans like a damn tether?
liberation, the true liberation of our Haitian brothers and sisters, of our Haitian brothers and sisters, of our Haitian brothers and sisters, because the liberation of one of us is the liberation of all of us.
Adam, my brother in Christ, I was literally born here in the US, just like you. My grandmother on my father's side is literally Black American. I am both Caribbean and Black American. Do you know what the difference is between a Haitian and a Black American? The difference between the two is that
the difference between the two is the usage of deodorant. Okay, she's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it for her. If you want to know the difference between a Black American and a Haitian, you can start in the deodorant department and you will see it.
your slave masters spoke English and ours spoke French. You being xenophobic towards Haitian is literally doing a distaste and a dishonor towards your entire diaspora as well as your ancestors. Your ancestors would literally spit in your face right now.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. The reason why Black people collectively throughout the diaspora keep having these arguments and diaspora wars is simply because we don't respect each other.
The New York City diaspora wars need to stop. Both sides have valid points.
This is to all the transplants.
Freeze. Freeze, 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 freeze up. Notice how, going back to this individual, this is why we're very careful with the language about slavery. See, when you start talking about slavery, that opens the door for people to just say, well, I was a slave too. That's why all the American descendants of slaves, somebody could just simply say, well, I'm from South America. They had slavery as well. So for everybody who wants to use those terms, here comes this type of rhetoric.
Between a Haitian and a Black American, the difference between the two is that your slave masters spoke English and ours spoke French.
No, we wear deodorant and you do not. That's what it's really about, okay? We go into the deodorant department and you stay outside collecting flies, but we're going to ride. So you see right there why you got to be very cautious with the slave talk, because they're going to just start saying, well, everyone was slaves. Hell, you got people from the dominant society, they saying they've been slaves. So if you got somebody who came here from Ireland and he's saying, well, I was a slave too now, what you think going to happen with Haiti and Jamaica? We're not opening the doors for the Tethers family. Now, I want you to notice after you see that type of talking point, immediately here comes the folks who say it goes on both sides. I'm breaking this down so everybody can see that the Tethers use dominant society talking points, maneuvers, and tactics. So here comes it goes on both sides, and it don't.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. The reason why Black people collectively throughout the diaspora keep having these arguments and diaspora wars is simply because we don't respect each other.
The New York City
No. I'm sorry, sweetheart. No. Hell no. I'm sorry. You can take that one somewhere else, sweetie. Nope. I don't want to hear that. All that is letting them off the hook. That ain't no different, family. If you remove that woman right there, and I don't know who she is because she won't uncover her face, and she look like she covering that forehead, fam, is that forehead being protected? I think she know we got a forehead detector. And we understand if you reach a certain circumference, then you ain't one of us. All right, so it look like she hiding it. Nonetheless, if you remove her and you put a Karen there, that sounds a hell of a lot like racism go both ways. All lives matter now. That's reverse racism. They're starting to reverse tetherism. That's what they're trying to do. And like Foundational Black American Certified, we closing every damn door. Every door. She hiding that forehead, ain't she? Ain't she? She know that circumference is in question. She know we gonna pull out that goddamn ruler. And in her case, a yardstick. And we gonna see if you can get a first down and a second down on that forehead. If I can throw a fly pattern, if I can hit it with a pump and go and throw you down to the touchdown on that head, then you ain't one of us. She know what it is. She know what she doing. That just shows you that we've been on code and we've been dictating so much that we got them afraid of showing their foreheads in public. Family, they out here scared to show their foreheads in public. So you tell me who won. I see them, they run.
Don't respect each other.
The New York City diaspora wars need to stop. Both sides have valid points.
This is to all the transplants. Leave New York.
Goddamn, family, we got gap teeth, foreheads, janky hairlines, and that video wasn't nothing but about 2 minutes. IBD's easy work. Fam, this is what we've been doing now. We've been closing the door for all the excuses. So they send out the people now who try to do the on both sides. See, on both sides got valid points. What valid point? Okay, simple as this. We build, they steal. Remember, you in my country. Let's get this straight, okay? All right? Everybody's got to get to this point. This isn't brass tacks, y'all. They are over here in our country starting drama. That's what it is. Because before you got all this influx, this wasn't a problem. Y'all notice that Black Americans going back to the 60s, going back to the 70s, the 50s, and the 40s, they thought highly of the diaspora. That's before all the immigrants came. It's like seeing your neighbor down the street and you wave at him, hey, how you doing? And you think, he's a nice guy, right? That's because you only see him when you waving. Now, when you sit down and talk to him and you see how messy he is, how much of a hater he is, how much low energy he got, then you see the real story. So when the brothers and sisters finally encountered all of these tethers, now we see exactly why they are who they are. And they come into our house disrespected. So when we look back at brothers and sisters from the past and they had like a higher belief of those folks, I can understand it to a degree because you ain't know them. You ain't know them. You was only looking at what you read. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny too, fam, because they blame us for that. Think about it, y'all. They tell us that we were so mean to them 30, 40 years ago. Is that what y'all see? Because that's not what I seen. 30, 40 years ago, from every account that we've read, Black folks were very, very uplifted. Who uplifted, talked more highly about Africa or Jamaica than foundational Black Americans 30, 40 years ago? They got it all tangled and twisted. I don't know how the hell they come up with that one. See, you let them tell it, their side of the story, since Dude said we both got points. Okay, let's break down these two sides. They've been running around here saying how mean we were, and they carried this vitriol since grade school because we called them some names. That's not what I see. What I seen is foundational Black Americans. We stood on business for them. Hell, we called ourselves African. We fought in all these wars over there. We fought more for Africa than Africa fought for themselves. We did more for the continent than the continent was doing. When these folks was down, battered, brothers and sisters who didn't even have full resources in America were signing up and saying, how can I go over there? So I don't know what world they're living in, and I don't know what movie they was watching. So you see, fam, even when you do for these folks, they still got Anna. Even when you respect them, they still got Anna. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Who gave more love to the continent of Africa outside of Africa than Black Americans? You can start by saying, we fought in y'all wars. All right, everybody go home. That's it. We ain't even got to get to 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hell no. We fought in your wars and we called ourselves Africans. All that go back home to stuff, that's what brothers and sisters were saying. So let's be real. But you see how they tell a different story, right? You see how they tell a different story? So even when you was doing good for these folks, they were still on some tetherism. Even when you was holding them down, they were still tethering. They tell a different story. You know why, fam? Because they do not want to have any type of allegiance with foundational Black Americans. They want foundational Black American citizenship. Can we go there? Can we be there? Can we represent it? This is all about they want our citizenship. Damn going over there and fight for them. Damn going over there sticking up for them. Damn holding them down. Because when the dominant society used to talk reckless about Africans back in the 60s and 70s, it was Black American brothers and sisters who stood up and got in their face and said, whoa, 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 you ain't going to talk about Africa like that. You ain't going to talk about Jamaica like that. You ain't going to talk about Haiti like that. That was Black Americans who used to talk like that, represent them and show them a lot of love. Okay, but just like a good tether, they ain't appreciate it. So you know what? I take it back then. Then goddamn it, you on your own. You on that inner tube in the ocean, floating by your goddamn self. Don't ask for a lifeline. I ain't got one. I ain't got one. You ain't gonna get it. All right. If you don't want to congratulate or appreciate, all you want to do is hate, then we gonna regulate. And the fact that they want our culture so bad, family, it shows you right here. Look at this. Look at this, family. Yeah. Look at this. Celebrating Juneteenth Caribbean heritage. There ain't no Juneteenth Caribbean heritage. That's an oxymoron. This is somebody clearly putting it in flyers, y'all, trying to take foundational Black American culture. They know damn well. And look who's all up on that too, fam. Tetherpalooza. Look at Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, now remember, we was calling him out. And you had about 3 or 4 Black folks who was like, Hakeem Jeffries ain't no tether. Hakeem Jeffries is from the lineage. No, the hell he's not. No, the hell he's not. You can't look at that hairline that ain't there and see that he's not of the lineage. Hell no. Another Democratic-sponsored rally for foundational Black American heritage culture going to the Caribbean. Oz be damn, y'all. They out there right in our face just telling everybody. Celebrating Juneteenth Caribbean heritage? How you gonna celebrate something that don't exist? You might as well go celebrate a damn unicorn or something, fam, because that does not exist. There ain't no such thing as Juneteenth Caribbean heritage. You see, this is how Tether start, y'all. This is how it starts. And the Democrats are cool with it, and nobody cares. They just like, oh, no, we're just going to do it. Absolutely. Shameless. Shameless ass people. And what I always say about shameless people, you get shameless results. Spineless. These folks ain't got no spine. They don't give a damn. They're doing whatever they want to do. They leeching on to what foundational Black Americans have created. Absolutely. Yep. He's from Grenada. Yep. That man know what it is. Yeah. He's mad because foundational Black Americans done regulated him and ruined the little career he thought he was going to get off the ground. So checkmate to him. He's a rap. King of tethers. Absolutely, fam. So you see right then and there what these people are trying to do. You see right then and there how they're trying to co-opt Juneteenth. This is why Juneteenth even got relegated to being a holiday. Can we go there, fam? Let's just keep it all the way real, okay? Because we're going to be real up in the field today. Brothers and sisters, we didn't really want them to acknowledge Juneteenth. Because once they acknowledged Juneteenth, we already knew what the play was going to be. You name me one thing in America that foundational Black Americans have created that they didn't end up just saying was their own. Nothing. So we knew what they was doing. When they were sitting there saying, we're going to celebrate Juneteenth, it was going to give white folks a day off, and it was going to get slid onto the tellers. And they was making all the RBG. Go ahead right now. Go Google Juneteenth, and all it's going to be is the RBG flag. Every single one, everyone, family. There ain't no red, white, blue. And think about it. When the hell does America not want to represent the red, white, and blue? When has red, white, and blue ever became a problem to America? I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you when. Soon as foundational Black Americans started standing on lineage business, soon as we start standing on principle and patriotism, they don't want us being patriotic. They don't want us standing on business. They don't want us representing who we are and where we from. Too much power involved in it. See, this is what this all goes back to. You only see flyers like that based on the fact that they know they want to have immigrants representing America because the foundational Black Americans represent America. That's just too much power. Y'all remember the Malcolm X movie when they said that's too much power for one you know what to have? Yep. In foundational Black America, that's too much power for one lineage to have. They know what it is, and we know what it is. So they can try all they want. We ain't going for it. So we spin the block and we go back to square one and we start showing everybody what really went down, what's truly happening, what's really going real in these streets. And brothers and sisters, oh no. Shout out to all of my certified foundational Black Americans. Fam, we've been cooking now for about 30 minutes and we've already seen 100 hairlines that ain't there. Or shall I say, we didn't have to search for the damn hairlines, okay? You've seen the faux heads, you've seen the gap teeth, okay? You didn't see no deodorant though. Notice that, right? Anytime you see a big forehead and no deodorant, a tether is near. All right, it's Tether Kruger. And then you already seen them trying to hit us with the, it go both ways, and they try to hit us with the foundational Black Americans in the North and the South and the East and the West. Now they're trying to put tribalism on us, family. And there's been a long documented history of tribalism that has been brought to you by all the tethers. 9 times out of 10, when you look at some type of conflict that goes on amongst brothers and sisters, there's a tether in there. There's a tether, you guys. You see, Tethers wanted to be on our reparations panels. We said, hell no. And then Tether said, well, can we be on your, not just reparations panels, but can we be in your political business? And we started calling out the things like the Black Caucus and all that. We said, no. We start saying tether. See, now we identify tether. That's why they hate the term so much. They don't like the term tether because tether is an identifier. It's the ultra identifier. So next thing you know, they said, how can we go back to square one? Let's do what we do in our homeland. Let's start some tribalism. But see, the tribalism isn't working because they don't understand that when you are in the delineation era, you're also in the connected era where brothers and sisters up north, down south, east coast, and west coast, we're all combining. You got so many people. It's the summer right now. You know how many brothers and sisters from the north are coming down south to get up with their family? We've been doing this for hundreds of years. You can't separate what we create, and we created everything. So what you gonna do? Not a damn thing. And let me show you how brothers and sisters been standing on that business and not going for none of those games. Everything that they threw at us, family, it's safe to say that the family done threw right back at them. You tried it, it ain't worked. Now your ass got to get G-checked. Let's go.
God forbid black people ask you to play black music at a black parade celebration. Juneteenth is literally the celebration of black people being freed from slavery. And just so we're clear, black equals Black American. I just want y'all to know that.
Juneteenth is a Black American holiday. Full stop. It is not the time for other groups to suddenly want to claim their blackness now. Because any other time, a lot of you only claim where you're from. I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm African. Well, be that on Juneteenth. Because you don't get to be black when it suits you and then go back to telling us that we have no culture and we don't know where we come from. Keep that same energy when it's time for us to celebrate us.
Would you go to a Haitian Independence Day festival and bring Black American soul food? I mean, like, think about it. It's January 1st, and on January 1st, Black Americans eat black eyed peas. So that's like me bringing black eyed peas to that type of festival. That don't sound right, do it? No, I don't think so. Okay, so let's use another example. Would you go to a Nigerian Independence Day festival and make it about all the different countries in Africa and not just about Nigeria, because it's all about Africa, right? That doesn't sound right either. Do it. So that brings the question, why are people trying to make Juneteenth about everything except it being a Black American holiday, which centers Galveston, Texas? Why?
God forbid.
There you damn go. There you go, family. A few years ago, you might have seen one video of brothers and sisters putting an end to all of that. And we put an end to all of that. So now what they going to do? What are they going to do now, family? Because the tether ain't got nothing. Remember this, fam. A tether needs you. See, without us, tethers don't eat tonight, okay? If a tether does not latch on to foundational Black Americans, they're going to starve. They're going to starve, family, because they came over here with a contract that they were to come down on foundational Black Americans so they could score brownie points from the dominant society. Dominant society now say, hey, you guys are useless. FBA has regulated, set boundaries, and gatekeeps you, so nothing you're doing is working. We don't want you no more. The dominant society threw them back over the fence. And now since they're back over the fence, they over there, them stomachs are growling. You can hear, fam, you can smell them with no deodorant, and you can hear their stomachs growling because they're starving, because they can't eat. And they base everything off of eating what foundational Black Americans prepared. You came over here and tried to eat off my plate, man. You came over here and tried to eat off of what we put on the plate. We was the ones preparing that meal. All you did was just showed up and said, we are Black, brother. That stuff may work with the Black brothers from the past, but not with the certified brothers and sisters of today. So now your ass ain't eating and you ain't got nowhere to go. So what you gonna do about that one? Mr. Fufu, Joe Loft, or wherever the hell, Mr. Jerk Chicken, we add your ass to the list too. What you gonna do about that? There ain't nothing you can do, because now you understand that you need foundational Black Americans and foundational Black Americans don't need you. Why? Because foundational Black Americans don't need no damn body. It's beautiful when everything that you've got, everything you've attained, everything that you've done, everything you've conquered, you can look at the person in the mirror for the one who made it happen. You looking at who made us rich. Now they got to look at us to see the one that feeds them. Don't be mad because the people that you want to be so much like are the ones who have the ability to pull that goddamn cord out the wall, and you done got your cord pulled. So now what you gonna do? I'll see you on the other side. And family, on the other side, you got a whole lot of more people that been popping up. Desperation's real, y'all. And let me say this. The dominant society does to us what they know we're doing well. Meaning, when we get on game and brothers and sisters are a family unit, then they start doing the attacks on the family unit. When brothers and sisters are getting our economic game up, then they come with the economic attacks. The dominant society pinpoints where foundational Black Americans are succeeding, and that's where they send in the attack dogs. So they know that this has been a lineage-based movement. See, we're the only lineage-based movement on the planet. There's no other lineage-based movement. None at all. You have a bunch of people who got movements based on criminality. You want to know why Julio Romero can't get nothing off the ground? It's because he has a movement based on criminality of being unlawfully in the United States. Nobody's rocking with that. No. You want to talk about the Palestinians. That is something that has nothing to do with the United States. Nobody here is rocking with that. We're the only people with a just claim based on factual evidence, and it's lineage based and not a group, not an organization or anything. So what do they start doing, fam? They start trying to sprinkle the tethers in, and they say, well, take the tethers as well. No, you can take the tethers with your ass out the door, because foundational Black Americans, we don't want you no more. So they start sending out a bunch of dusty ass people, and you don't get more dusty than Brandon Johnson. Family, did y'all see Brandon Johnson? Look at him. Look at this man. You know he about to start tap dancing. Did y'all see Brandon Johnson out here, family, talking about Happy Africa Day? So, fam, on the left side, it's Juneteenth for Caribbean heritage. On the right side, it's Happy African Day. So notice how all of this has nothing to do with the lineage that built America. They want us to be the Americans who are out front watching all of the tethers and immigrants on the inside. Hell no. What's happening now is that we done put all their asses on the chopping block. So what you gonna do as well? Checkmate all day.
Hello, I am Mayor Brandon Johnson, and I am proud to join you in recognizing and celebrating Africa Day. The continent of Africa is made up of 1.2 billion people with diverse countries full of rich traditions, cultures, and heritage. The African diaspora can be found in cities and countries around the globe. And right here in Chicago, our proud African communities have made indelible contributions to the growth and fabric of our amazing city. So this Africa Day, let us take a moment to celebrate the achievements of the people of Africa, the progress made by African nations, and the traditions and culture they have shared with us. And let us also show them that we will embrace and support them as they continue to overcome and face their challenges head on. Thank you, and happy Africa Day, everyone.
Hell no. Hell no. Happy Dusty Day. Happy you ain't gonna be around much longer because them brothers and sisters putting you out of business day. Happy y'all gonna be on your own day. None of that has anything to do with foundational Black Americans, y'all. Hell no. And why? Why all of a sudden is it Africa Day? Why all of a sudden is it Caribbean Juneteenth Day? What's the hands behind all of that? You trying to get foundational Black Americans to join in, ain't you? See, we're just not joining in on anything, you guys. We're not joining in on anything. We are doing exactly what we said we were going to do. We was going to keep everything in-house as foundational Black Americans. We was going to keep everything amongst ourselves. We ain't sharing. No. We ain't one of these fake-ass Democrats who talk about sitting out things, and next thing you know, they on the front line getting hit with a billy club for some feminists, all right? When they talk that stuff about delineating and separating, that'll last about 2 days until they get their orders. They get a big-ass box of butter biscuits, and then they go out and crash out for somebody else's protest. We ain't doing that. What we saying is it's going to be FBA or nothing. FBA or nothing, family. And that's what it is. We're not joining this. This ain't going nowhere, fam. Look at the man's face. It reeks of desperation. That's all desperation. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's desperation to me. Look at him. Look at him, family. First off, he looked moist as hell, okay? The man looked moist. He looked like he just jumped out of a goddamn pool, okay? He's moist, dusty, and begging. He's like, come join the Africa Day that don't nobody know about. Come join the Africa Day that ain't nobody going to. What day? He didn't even say the damn day. Notice that, family. He just started saying Africa Day, Africa Day, Africa Day. What day? You ain't put a date on it. This goddamn guy ain't even put a date on the day that he's trying to tell us to go with. Man, get lost. You better kick some goddamn rocks and kick your way right on out the goddamn house. Foundationals ain't with none of that. Africa need to celebrate Africa Day. All right? That's what y'all need to do. We'll celebrate FBA Day. So they want to have Africa Day for Africans, and then Juneteenth for Africans, and Juneteenth for Haitians, and Juneteenth for Jamaicans. What foundational Black Americans get? Oh, that ain't the game plan. The game plan is to get us to do exactly that right there, family. We get nothing, zero, but yet we join everybody else's movement. You see how they're trying to get you to not focus on what you're doing? I want you to notice right there, brothers and sisters, that is an attempt to get us to not go along with us. They're trying to psychologically prepare you for everything that you got going on means nothing. You need to join. They're trying to give us an ultimatum. Either we're going to join in on the Caribbean Juneteenth Day or we're going to join in on Africa Day, but you can't be joining in on any foundational Black American days. Shit. And this is why it's been so lovely that we've been out here doing what? Meeting. I met half of you guys in Washington, D.C. at the Rally for Reparations, both of them, 2 times. And what we ended up doing, fam, we had our own event with our own time with our own brothers and sisters. All right. See, we got our own thing. You can't do our thing. We got our own. See, having your own is very lovely. See, when you got your own thing, family, that means that you are the ones who control it. See, Africa has to have an African Day over here in America and beg foundational Black Americans to come, but we're not. That lets you know that they have no control. You see, Jamaica has to have Juneteenth over here in America because Jamaica has nothing for themselves. They have no control. Foundational Black Americans, you name it. Hell, it's just Memorial Day. Our Memorial Day cookouts were more powerful than anything they're doing on the continent of Africa or anywhere in Jamaica or Haiti or the diaspora. I said it and I meant it. Yes, indeed. Okay, so when you were just grilling the other day and you had your brothers and sisters there, all right, you was boots on the ground and you was flipping that goddamn grill, that right there is more powerful than anything that they're doing in the diaspora. You know why? It's because you controlled it. You did that. They didn't. What we say, FBA did that. We did it, so therefore it's more powerful. We're not up underneath the armpit of some colonizer. We're not up underneath the armpit of some ruler. Everything that we're doing for ourselves. And since we've been doing for ourselves, power comes along with it. Power comes in ownership. That's why they want you to always focus on the slave ship. You understand? See, they want you to talk about the slave ship because they don't want you to focus on ownership. We got our mind right, money right, ready for war. So the fact that we have been owning our own spaces, controlling our own spaces, and doing our own thing, and everybody else has to get handouts and begging, that means they're going to get handouts and beg forever, and we're going to be certified forever. And when I say forever, I don't mean part-time. I don't mean sometime. I mean all the goddamn time. So when you put that together with this right here, family, oh, you get all the goddamn things you need. Did y'all see another one? Do y'all know that while we were on air just the other day live, talking about the ancestors burning things down, do y'all know that something was burning down while we was talking? Did we not have a whole broadcast, a classic broadcast, by the way? Go back and make sure you watch it, start to finish, because it was epic. While we was talking about the Nottoway Plantation, while we was talking about Lake Lanier, while we was talking about the Confederate Museum getting introduced to a tree trunk, while we were talking about everything that foundational Black American ancestors were doing live on air, you had this mansion that used to be a former slave plantation, Calamara, if that's how it's pronounced. It's burnt the hell up right now. How about that one? It got caught on fire mysteriously twice this damn week. Let the ancestors speak. With a little bit of love and a little bit of ABK. When the universe dishes out consequences and repercussions against those who practice anti-Black racism. And it looked like it's been ABK all goddamn day. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. It's our turn. And they don't like it, fam. But we love it because we on the winner side, and that's where we reside. They know, they know, they know it. Damn, crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I got off. I was like, hold up. My brother Tariq, shout out to Tariq. Tariq had reposted that or retweeted that from somebody. And I said, I be damned. You mean to tell me while we've been on live talking about the ancestors and the frequencies, we did a whole dissertation about it? It was happening while we were talking about it. Oh man, life is about timing, y'all, and the timing is insane. But one of the things that is more crazy to our eyes is it's going other places now. Have y'all noticed some of the spiritual things are being seen in these big splashes, but now it's starting to happen here, there. You're starting to see more pieces and elements just in people's regular days life. There's been an uptick of energy, an uptick in frequency. And man, is it going across this whole country. It's funny how things burn in the summertime, right? And y'all know that we are children of the sun, the real ones. So you see how that's all occurring, and it's beautiful and it's lovely. But as we've been standing on ancestral business, that's a guarantee. Let me tell you the other guarantee. A goddamn tether has been running around here, y'all, trying to act like that's his ancestors. Fam, you never, ever stop believing that a tether is going to quit. A tether's always going to try. That's just what it is. Do y'all know that you already had the Mexicanos trying to say that was his ancestors? Now you got all the Africans and they trying to say it was them, or the Jamaicans, or whatever. The con men are all trying to con us. We know what our ancestors' work looks like, do they? And I'm telling you right now, y'all, brothers and sisters, y'all check this out. When I say that these people are desperate for some damn attention, do I ever so mean it? Y'all look at this man right here, and he says, that was my ancestors. My ancestors did that in Magnolia. This man goes to the Magnolia plantation in Georgia and tries to say that it was his ancestors. Tether's gonna tether. Foundational Black Americans gonna laugh at him too.
For my brothers, because I went through similar situation. If this brother is holding down the fort 100% on his own, paying 100% of the bills, take
layers to cross the mantle.
First night, this lady stopped me in Walmart and said this to me. Now I'm wondering if I should run to her or run away from her. Now I'm wondering if I should run to her or run away from her. If I should run to her.
My ancestors asked me to pin this location for them. Location pinned. My ancestors asked me to pin this location for them. My ancestors asked me to pin this location for them. Location pinned.
What ancestors? What hold up. What ancestors you talking about? That is the Magnolia Plantation in the state of Georgia, my home. Shout out to Outcast. What you mean? My ancestors told me to pin these. My ancestors told me I needs to. My ancestors told me I got to. Hell no. Y'all see, these people will even try to tether on to our ancestors. Say that our ancestors are their ancestors. Are you kidding me, family? You see what we talking about with these damn people? Man, if they don't get the hell up out of our space, if they don't get the hell up out of our space, that's all they need to know. That's all they need to know, family, is that they can get the hell up out of our foundational Black American space because they not welcome. That's what it is. So you see clear as goddamn day, you got this tether right here trying to pretend that his ancestors told him to go do something. Your ancestors told you to flee, okay? That's why you're fleeing. Our ancestors told us to turn up. That's why we turning up. There's a big difference between fleeing and turning up.
My ancestors asked me to pin this location for them. Location pinned. Location pinned.
And you know how hot it is in the center of the earth all the way past all the layers to cross the mantle?
First night, this lady stopped me in Walmart and said this to me. Now I'm wondering if I should run to her or run away from her. Now I'm wondering if I should run to her or run away from her. If I should run to her.
That sounds like your ass been running away from the immigration office. That's what that sounds like. That's the running that you doing, partner. I said, run to her, my ancestor. Get up out of here. So you can see, family, already what these people talking about. You know, he right there just telling you. He already talking about, he making whole video. That guy got whole videos talking about W women. All he talking about is W women. And then on this side, he want to start talking about the ancestors. Nah, you not like us. If you've ever seen us, they not like us. That right there is the main one. No, matter of fact, no. Matter of fact, Alpha, I stand corrected. Oh, I stand corrected, family. I got another one that ain't nowhere near us. And it also ain't nowhere near a human. Let me show y'all this. Look at this, family. Y'all check this one out. It's getting crazy out here in these streets, fam. It's getting real spooky out here in the world. They done sent out everybody they possibly can to try to cape for all the damn tellers. So let me go ahead and give you a little backtrack before I give you the front load. We've been out here standing on business, reclaiming, holding it down, representing who we are as foundational Black Americans, letting the whole goddamn world know Juneteenth belongs to us. Our brothers and sisters in New York done shut it down. Y'all see that. Our brothers and sisters in the South done shut it down. There you go. And family, not only did you have all of the diaspora tethers, you had the Jamaican tethers and the Haitian tethers and the African tethers, as which we displayed, and they all came out and they started to say how Juneteenth was for everybody. Do y'all know they done sent out the transformer tethers? Oh, yes, they have. So it shows you foundational Black Americans right here and every off-balance, off-brand, twisted-ass group over here. The transformers have showed up to team up with the tethers. You got the transformers and the trans tethers. I ain't lying. Y'all look at this right here. Look at this. Didn't I tell y'all for the last 2 months we've been running a segment called People Who've Been Trying to Pretend to Be FBA. People who've been trying to pretend to be a Black woman. Remember, y'all? Remember when all them Black folks are saying everybody's Black now? You could be Black, they could be Black, everybody Black. And we've been showing everybody. We showed Bonnet Becky, Julia Roberts with the dreadlocks. We showed about 15 Miss Pedros. And now I'm showing you Mr. Man. Yes, Mr. Man comes out and says that Black Americans are xenophobic of the Caribbean and we need to leave them alone. This is the help that the tethers had to go get. Well, they ain't got nothing but down bad crash outs.
To the lady that made the video about the Juneteenth celebration in New York and the people within her ethnic group that are...
What the hell? I'm sorry. To the people who said that the tethers is bad, I think y'all Black folks is bad. And my name is Chad. Used to be Brad. And I ain't mad. Get the hell up out of here. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing the trans tether community. And trans tethers of a feather gonna stick together.
To the lady that made the video about the Juneteenth celebration in New York and the people within her ethnic group that are giving her a whole lot of grace, I just want to know why y'all giving somebody who's so xenophobic, because she's xenophobic, so much grace. Because I'll be honest with you, I think that there is a level of being moronic to assume that in a city as big as New York City, that a person could live in a cultural bubble that has no interactions with other diaspora groups. Like, how dumb do you have to be to not understand that people with intersectional histories that look similar or the same for the most part?
Y'all caught that, right? God damn, that's scary as hell. Look at that. God damn, that's scary. Family, yes, we done reached the level of delineation where they are sending the trans tethers towards us, family. We have already reached it, fam. God damn. It's getting spooky out here in the United States of America. And I mean very goddamn spooky. They have officially tried to counter our delineation with the trans tether community. You know we must be on game, family, when they done reached this low of desperation that they got to send this out. But listen to the words. Listen to the words. The transensuals, the transsexual. Listen, fam. Listen now how they're trying to combine the trans rights with the tether rights. Listen, they're throwing it in there right there, family. Listen to Chad.
Intersectional histories that look...
Intersectional histories. See, fam, they're trying to create the crossroads. Now they're trying to get in on the tether movement. Yeah, you don't see them tethers talking about this, though. Them tethers over there supporting this. I ain't seen not Ned Tether come out and say, we don't want this. This is you. This is not us. This is not what we want. No. Listen to the wordplay, y'all. And they're using this Juneteenth celebration. Fam, I never thought I'd see where us checking people about Juneteenth would have Manny showing up, going in on us and defending all of the diaspora. I never thought I'd see that, fam, but I am, and you are too, and we all watching it right now. Delineation has officially got to the point where they have recruited these people, and they're talking about intersexuality. Okay, fam, watch it. Here we go.
Like, how dumb do you have to be to not understand that people with intersectional histories that look similar or the same for the most part?
See what this person is doing? They're talking about how the tethers use their dark skin to get in. They're talking about how all of the tethers come around foundational Black Americans and say, we all Black, brother. And this one is saying that they relate to the tethers. Think about the, listen, family, we in here. Y'all some beautiful, strong, foundational Black Americans, smart as hell. You see the wordplay and the trickery? Comparing the fact that tethers use their dark skin to get in on our lineage to this individual using their body to get in on the other gender. Yes, giving a whole spiel and a whole lecture about accept people who are kind of like you. That's the same thing that this person's community says. So are we safe to say that Manny community and the tether community have the same tactics and principles? I mean, this is what this person is saying. This is what Brad is saying. This ain't our words, it's Brad. You see, they gave this whole spiel and brought it all the way back to accept people who look like you. This is one of them, God don't make mistakes now. All right? This is one of those, fam. This belongs at one of those parades. And you know the parade I'm talking about. It's the same stuff. So we can go ahead now and say that the tethers and the trans community are interconnected. According to this individual right here, we have officially got trans tethers, you guys.
People with intersectional histories that look similar or the same for the most part might interact and have interacted. Y'all giving this lady too much grace. She's xenophobic. To the lady that made...
There you go, family. I be damned. I be damned. I be damned. Hell no. Man, double hell no. There you go, though. You see it? Right there for you, family. Uh-huh. So this is who's coming to the savior of the tethers. So this whole thing about Juneteenth and them trying to steal our foundational Black American culture and African Day and Juneteenth, Caribbean celebration, all that ended up on that individual's plate. And that individual just tied their movement into the tether movement. Tethers ain't say nothing. Y'all notice you don't hear no tethers disrespecting. You ain't seen not Nary tether come out and denounce that. Tethers out here clapping because they do got the same tactics. One is living in a state of delusion about one aspect of their life, and the other person is living in a state of delusion. This is the state of delusion twins. Both of them are living in a state of delusion, and that delusion is based on pretending to be something you're not. That's what it's really about, you guys. Pretending to be something you're not. As they say, misgendered, now they're trying to mis-ethnic, mis-nationality, mis-lineage. So you do see some connections between those two communities, and foundational Black Americans been seeing it the whole damn time. That's easy right there, family. There you go. So we, again, foundational Black Americans, fam, hey, think about it. They had to call back up. They had to call back up and RuPaul came. They had to go call RuPaul so they can get some backup because foundational Black Americans are delineating that strong. I be damned. And if you look, notice this too, fam. Look at this. Look at this right here. FBA don't play. It's FBA all damn day. Look at this. Look at this right here, fam. You see, I told everybody this was going to be a play. I told everybody, Afro-Black, Indian, Native American, Afro-Boricua Taino, trans two-spirit. There you go. So all of those three things at the top, that's tetherism. At the bottom is trans. So now we have our first trans tether or tether trans. The double T. There it goes. A double T is still gonna flee. Yes. So that's who's coming to the rescue of them, and they need the help. And foundationals are standing on business, and we're gonna do what we always do because we always win. And it's shameful, fam. Notice they don't never have any smoke for those individuals. So they'll wake up right there. Because, fam, the dominant society and the tethers are trying to get anybody they can get. They're just searching for help, fam. They looking for love in all the wrong places. All the wrong places, fam. They done went to the Optimus Prime parade to go get them some help. Ain't that shameful? Ain't that shameful, family? It just lets you know the tethers are desperate. How more desperate can the tethers be? The fact that that's who they got to run to. That's who they got to run to. That's who they got to go get. That's who they got to go see. Anything so they can get some type of come up. So we got them so desperate, y'all, that they running over there. We got them so desperate that they fleeing to that spot. Oh, man, it's terrible for them. It's terrible for them, and it's lovely for foundational Black Americans. It's always lovely for us because we be on game and we be on point. And when you on game and on point, there's nothing they can do about it. It's just simply everybody's dealing with what we've already known. And what we've already known is that when you stand on business and you stay certified and you stay doing what you got to do, everything falls into place, and it's falling into place. So we, fam, we got the tethers so goddamn desperate, they run into that community. They calling RuPaul for backup. You know FBA out here KOing these damn tethers. So one of the things that they do when foundational Black Americans start getting that power is what I tell you. They start trying to place these other tether groups and other tether communities in these positions. And one of the positions that they try to do, fam, is a lot of the police department. So you've had a lot of these tethers that have been popping up in the police department. And this is why we say the dominant society will put them in a position so they can get some type of bearings or power because they don't have them. Tethers don't have none in the real world. There's this video that came out. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this. Check this out. This right here is a brother who is handicapped. This is a handicapped brother. And this right here is a tether police officer. And the brother gets pulled over because, you know, they always have to pull over foundational Black Americans. Let me ask y'all this question. Whenever you see a tether police officer or security guard, isn't it 9 times out of 10 they're harassing a Black American? Have y'all noticed that? Can I ask the family that right now? Because the majority of times that I personally see a Black security guard or a Black police officer, they're always harassing one of us. You don't see them pulling over Karen or Ken. You don't see that. So this tether pulls over this brother right here, and then he tries to get the brother out, and the brother's like, hey, you know, I can't walk. And watch what happens, fam. This is why we've been G-checking, and this is why we're not letting anybody shame us from stopping this regulation.
I'm paralyzed. You gotta hold on. I got you. He can't. I got you. He can't walk. I got you. Hold your feet. I can't. I'm paralyzed.
Look at that, y'all.
Sir, do you need?
He paralyzed. He can't walk. He can't walk. He's a paraplegic.
That's the only thing you have. Sit right here. Sit right here. You gonna step me outside?
Y'all hear that accent, right? Y'all hear the accent? Listen to that thick Caribbean accent, fam. Listen to that accent. You can hear it clear as day.
He can't walk. He's a paraplegic.
That's the only thing you have. Sit right here. Sit right here. You gonna set me outside on the ground? Y'all set me on the ground, though. Yeah. I'm gonna try to help you out, man. Yeah, but why you just? I'm paralyzed, bro. Okay. No paralyzed, dude. That's it. A wheelchair, bro. Ma'am, can you help with the wheelchair?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I have to get his wheelchair out in the back.
Well, that's why I asked him first. You have your camera on? All right. Oh, yes, I do. Sit right here tight. Okay, sir. I don't apologize for the inconvenience. You know what I mean?
To the point, fam, they just put him back in the car. So what was that about? What was that about, family? If they ended up putting him right back in the car, then why? What was the purpose of any of that? There was no purpose involved in none of that. They ended up just putting him in the car. That shows you again, fam. This is what the dominant society does. This man is trying to get some type of biscuits from the dominant society. I told y'all, those biscuits come in jerk chicken flavor, jollof, and fufu and bushmeat flavor. He wants some bushmeat biscuits. That's what he wants. Look at him. They purposely did that. Right here, he says, look at it. I can't. I'm paralyzed. Then it's over. Then put the man back in. It's not like you're arresting him or doing anything. You're only doing this to harm the brother. You're only doing this to minimize the brother, to embarrass the brother. This is why we don't rock with tethers. That's why we don't give a damn what tethers say. That's why we're not out here saying, well, let them go now. Y'all being mean to them. Damn that. We regulate. And if you get upset by regulating, then you got a problem. This was uncalled for and unnecessary. And look at this. Look at this picture. Anybody running around here talking about it go on both sides. Anybody running around here talking about we're being xenophobic. Anybody running around here saying that foundational Black Americans are a hate group. Look at this picture right there. And listen to the accent right there.
And well, you have he's a paraplegic. That's the only thing you have. Sit right here. One quick. Sit right here. You gonna set me outside on the ground? Y'all set me on the ground, though. Yeah. We're gonna try to help you out, man. Yeah, but why you just? I'm paralyzed, bro. Okay. No paralyzed, please. Oh, that's it. Got a wheelchair, bro. Ma'am, can you help with the wheelchair?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I have to get his wheelchair out in the back.
Well, that's why I asked him first. Do you have the camera on? All right. Oh, yes, I do. Sit right here tight. Okay, sir. I don't apologize for the inconvenience. You know what I mean?
And look, y'all heard the apology? Listen to the apology. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like the person who came over there may have been a Black American. I'm not sure. But he comes over and kind of cleans up the mess from the tether. What? Look at him. He's looking at the camera. Look, fam. You see it. He's on tether camera. He's on tether cam. He's on FLIR cam. He know what he doing wrong. And he know that we recording this stuff and we watching this. He's guilty. Look at that guilty face, family. Look at that. This is another reason for delineation. This right here is number 5 million why we delineate. He's looking at the camera because he knows exactly what he's doing. And here comes the other officer to lift him up. If you left it up to this man, we don't know what would have happened. He's looking at the camera. Why are you worried about the camera? You got a man who can't even stand up. And you are over here looking at the camera, guilty as hell. And then the other guy cleans it up.
I have to get his wheelchair out in the back.
Well, that's why I asked him first. You have the camera on? All right. Oh, yes, I do. Sit right here tight. Okay, sir. I don't apologize for the inconvenience. You know what I mean? You know why? Wheelchair in the back. Yeah, my wheelchair's in the back.
He said all that in the beginning. Now, y'all notice how he tried to clean that up at the end, right? Oh, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. That's what should have never went down. Never went down. That right there, family, is why we talk about tether fatigue. All right? You want to call it out. And you'd be surprised, fam. That goes on all across the United States of America. Anytime they are in any position that they've been granted by the dominant society, their number one job is to evoke this type of punishment or this type of attack towards FBA. You never see these videos with them doing this to W's. Never. You don't see this ever. I've yet to see them ever do this to somebody from the dominant society. It never happens because that's not their job. Their job isn't to do that to the dominant society. Their job is to do that for us. They have basically became like, you know how they had the slave catchers? Okay. They're doing that same type of job. And how do you know? Because it happens everywhere. Look at this video right here. It happened all across the country, fam. Look at this video. Y'all see this? Listen to this accent. Atlanta man arrested by cop that speaks in patois. The man is sitting there arresting somebody. He can't even speak the language, but he's a cop. And he's sitting there yelling back and forth and can't even talk.
So, I'll put you to sit. No, man, I'll put you to sit, man. I said, I want to the man. Just sit down, man. I want to them, I say.
I don't know what you say.
Turn on, man.
Is it English?
Turn on.
So left, right, back.
Put your foot in that vehicle. Put your foot in the vehicle.
Whatever you trying to tell me.
Damn it, man. Well, I couldn't understand English.
Nah, bruh. Nah. No. See, you know what that turns into, family? He ends up doing something and harming that brother and then pretending that the brother disobeyed an order. You got to be very cautious with this.
So, I'll put you to sit. No, man, I'll put you to sit, man. I said, I want to the man. Just sit down, man. I want to them, I say.
I don't know what you say.
Turn on, man.
Is it English?
Turn on.
So left, right, back.
Put your foot in that vehicle. Put your foot in the vehicle.
Whatever you trying to tell me.
Damn it, man. Well, I couldn't understand English. So,
what you mean he don't understand English? You're not speaking English. You're not speaking English. That proves to you again exactly why the tethers are put in the position that they are. Tethers are put in this position so they can be the workforce, the attack dogs for the dominant society. See, they do everything for the dominant society anyway. And that's why they've been brought over here. Okay, because the dominant society give a damn about them. 9 times out of 10, the dominant society is raiding and pillaging these people's homelands. So if somebody is pillaging your homeland and then you run over here and you work for them, doesn't that show that you have an affection for the dominant society and then you have aggression towards Black Americans? And that's why he's in the position he is. And you got to be cautious with that, because what he was trying to do was set it up for the okie doke. He'll start saying things like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And all that. And then when the brother doesn't respond, next thing you know, he'll try to unalive the brother and say that he didn't take a direct order. That's how slippery it gets right there with these people who can barely speak. You know, and we know that they come over here with this foul language and this, they can barely speak, okay? And they already have this Anna and vitriol towards us. We understand that. But the next thing they do, fam, is that they harm one of us, and then they pretend that, oh, it was all basically just because I told him to do this and he acted too aggressive towards me. We know exactly how they play the game, you guys. We know exactly what they're trying to do. And this is why we're very, very skeptical. So it goes back to prove delineation, separation, regulation is a thing. That's what it is. It's the force, and it's huge, and it's winning right now. In every aspect of life, that's how foundational Black Americans are conducting ourselves. That's how foundational Black Americans are functioning out here in this world. And every time you see one of these situations occur, and I mean every time, the next step that you're going to see is people coming over here and trying to associate us with Africa, because they know people who come here from Africa or come here from Jamaica, we're telling them you got to get it on your own. And since they all got to get it on their own and they have to function on their own, next thing they're going to do is try to attach themselves to what we have, right? So when you see that these people are out here doing all that fraudulent behavior like that right there, you had 2 tethered cops right there. And notice, fam, what was in common? You had 2 tethered cops assaulting 2 Black Americans. You'll never see them do this to anybody else. All these different people and all these different races in America, but you always got that smoke for FBA, right? Okay, we know what you're on. But the other thing that they'll try to do now, fam, since that's not really working and we've been calling out the hairlines and we've been calling out the back of the neck, the other thing they're going to do is start trying to tell us that we need to go to Africa. But see, it's not like the old we need to go to Africa. See, they're rebranding themselves. Everybody's rebranding themselves. Nobody expected the reparations generation. Nobody expected. Fam, you go back 10 years ago, they never expected the reparations generation or delineation. That's something that wasn't in the cards. So now on the fly, everybody has to rebrand themselves. It used to be, y'all go back home to Africa. That's the motherland. Y'all remember that, right? That's what it was. Go back to Africa. That's the motherland. Africa needs you. And foundational Black Americans shut that down. We said, no, this is our country. It's our homeland. We ain't going nowhere. So that didn't really work. That's why you had the Democrats wearing all the kente cloths and everything, trying to get us emotional about Africa so we go back to Africa. That ain't fluke. Now what they're doing is they're trying to make this thing of America's so bad, Blacks, we all need to leave. And I suspect that they're paying people to make videos and tell everyone how we need to leave America. That's what I suspect, family. That's what I believe. Now we're getting into the agent side of it. Okay. And there's so many agents in this movement, fam. This movement is littered with agents. Half of these people you see using these talking points, you might think that they're just some regular tethers. A lot of these people are getting paid, because remember, the reclassification of foundational Black Americans from start to finish, going all the way back to Indian and colored and Black and Negro, all of that is $1 billion industry. They don't just wake up one day and say, we're going to, reclaim these people. No. They reclassify us based on a lot. So now you got people coming out here and they're trying to say, we're all leaving, aren't we? Aren't we doing it? Be cautious of the person who comes out and they make these blanket statements like, we're doing it already. And it ain't Grassroots sponsored. All right. Remember that, fam. You got a lot of people now that are showing up and they're overemphasizing something we're all doing. You see a tweet every single day of Black Americans, we leaving, Black Americans, we out the door, right? Aren't we all going to leave tomorrow at 12? Isn't everybody coming over here exactly approximately at 11:59? We all leaving together, ain't we? You got to be cautious of those people, because what they're trying to do is they're narrative hustlers. They're trying to create a narrative that they think we're just going to jump on, because the days of trying to get us sentimentally connected to Africa is gone. So now they're going into the reverse psychology aspect of it. And I'll be damn, family, if they ain't been coming out the woodwork. Y'all look at this right here. This man popped out of nowhere, and notice he keeps saying, we. He starts throwing in all the Latinos, and then he's saying how Black folks are about to leave the United States and go to Africa. Look at the headline. We are leaving America. Who? Who leaving America? You ain't from America. So basically, you going back home. No, you ain't talking about me. You must be talking about your goddamn self, Tether man. Watch how many times he emphasizes leaving, fam. think about what I just said about the agent energy. And notice how many times he overemphasizes leaving. Somebody's paying these folks to make these videos.
Okay, white America. I come with a message from Black America. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. All of white people. Okay, white America. I come with a message from Black America. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. All of us are leaving. All the colored people, all the brown people, we are leaving. You're going to get what you want. We are leaving. We are leaving. Okay? You're going to get what you want. You say you all want us out of America. We are leaving. We are leaving. We promise. We have no problems leaving.
Family, please. Fam, we're going to play pardon me. Excuse my language. We're going to play a game in here. How many times did he say leaving? How many times did he say leaving? Somebody, all y'all, everybody in the chat right now. I'm going to restart this. And I want y'all to tell me how many times you heard him say leaving. And tell me this ain't some agent energy. This man is probably some tether that works for the Department of Defense, works for the alphabet agencies, and he's getting paid to say this. Look how many times he overemphasizes leaving, fam. I'm gonna tell y'all when to start counting. Hold on.
Hey, white America. I come with a message from Black America. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. All of white people.
Okay, there you go. And he said, you won. Listen, he said, you won. We lose. We are losers. And I speak for all people. And notice, family, he got the American flag on here. Oh, now no more Jamaican flag. Oh, now no more Haitian flag. I thought it was just Haitian flag day. Y'all see how devious these people are and how quick they are to drop their flags and put up the American flag? You know why the American flag is on this damn screen right here, family? I'm going to tell you why. The American flag is on this screen right here because he wants to make it look like the message is coming from us. He's trying to make it look like the message is coming from foundational Black Americans. He know damn well it's coming from the feds and it's coming from Haiti, Jamaica, or Africa, not us. Notice, fam, he says leaving 152 times. And then on top of that, he puts up the American flag. Now, they've been running around here waving every other flag than America's. Hell, you seen the Juneteenth Caribbean Heritage Celebration where they weren't even talking about Black Americans. You seen Africa Day. They're not even talking about Black Americans. Oh, now they want to talk about Black Americans, though, right? Notice the games, notice it, see it, spotlight it, and G-check it. That's what we doing. Big loss. Watch it now, family. How many times do you hear this man say leaving?
Hey, white America. I come with a message from Black America. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. All of us are leaving. All the colored people, all the brown people, we are leaving. You're going to get what you want. We are leaving. We are leaving, okay? You're going to get what you want. You say you all want us out of America. We are leaving. We are leaving. We promise. We have no problems leaving. As long as you leave Africa and you leave the Caribbean, don't take nothing. Just go. Just go. That's it. That's the arrangement. You leave Africa and you leave the Caribbean and don't come back. Don't take nothing. Walk out with your 2 hands empty. That's the arrangement. We will leave America, sure, to the blue eyes, to those that say they want to make America great again, to those that say Black people need to leave, Spanish people need to go. We will leave as long as you leave Africa and the Caribbean. Tell me what you think. Do we have a deal? Let me know. Okay, white America.
How many times did y'all hear it? I lost track at 11, and I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I need some answers. No, I lost track at 11. I counted 11 times that man said leaving, and then I was lost. He's like, we're leaving, and bushmeat, and leaving, with Jollof, we're leaving, not receiving, we're leaving. Get the hell up out of here. You better leave America and leave us the hell alone, okay? For you got 14, 18, 17, 18. Family, it's only a minute and 30-second video. Only a minute and 30 seconds. I couldn't say leaving that many times in 30 seconds if I tried on purpose. Come on. Damn, you counted 22, 21, 14, 18. Damn. Look at that, family. Shameful. Absolutely, positively shameful, you guys. You don't get worse than that right there. That is the indicator of everything that we talk about. Boy, y'all got, see, I'm telling you, I was lost. I was lost. Then notice though, fam, Then he started throwing in what? Donald Trump. He started saying, as long as you got Make America Great Again. See, it's all coming from the Democratic Party. If you want to leave America and America so bad, then isn't it a American issue? Why are you putting it off on one party? And then also notice he starts talking about they got to leave Africa and the Caribbean as well. Notice that. So he threw in all the talking points that tethers use that they get handed from the dominant society. Don't allow any of these people to claim that they got a problem with white supremacy, but they only mention one half of it. That means that they're lying. That means that they're lying and they're trying to be very counterfeit with it. Notice how he threw that in there, fam. He thinks he's slick. He thinks he's slick, okay? This is a bad, terrible attempt. Notice that he throws in Donald Trump and then he starts throwing in the diaspora and all these other places.
That's the arrangement. You leave Africa and you leave the Caribbean and don't come back, don't take nothing.
Why are you throwing in Africa and the Caribbean, but yet you got the American flag up? You see, what they want to do, fam, is just breeze over us. They just want to talk around foundational Black Americans like we ain't even here right now. They just want to talk around us, fam, like we just existing in life. There's nothing about us. They can just speak. Notice that he just jumped over foundational Black American. He said what he really wanted to say. This is what Mr. Fufu really wanted to say.
Walk out with your two hands empty. That's the arrangement. We will leave America sure to the blue eyes, to those that say they want to make America great again, to those that say Black people need to leave. Spanish.
You weren't even here when they were saying that in the beginning. And notice he throws in the people of color. Man, this is sponsored by the Democrats. This ain't nothing but Nancy Pelosi wearing the damn dashiki. This is Democratic behavior right here. The man says, you won. You won. He done declared victory for the supremacists. He didn't even declare victory for himself. He declared victory for them. Then he turns around and talks down on them. Well, you said make America great again. Well, it must be great again. You just said they won. This man loves supremacy more than supremacy loves supremacy his goddamn self. This is Mr. Fufu. And then at the end, he threw in Mr. Julio. This is coming from the Democrats.
America great again. To those that say Black people need to leave, Spanish people need to go. We will leave as long as you leave Africa and the Caribbean. Tell me what you think. Do we have a deal? Let me know. Okay, white America.
No, you got a deal. You got a deal to try to spill this type of rhetoric on foundational Black Americans and project your fleer ways onto us. Then let me play that again where he says, you won.
I come with a message from Black America. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. You have won. We are leaving. You have won.
Look at that. Look at that right there, family. Projecting they've won on us. You see what he did there, right? He's projecting the fact that, oh, they've won. So all the delineation, you guys stop that. Okay, all that separation and all that regulating reparations, quit asking about it. You see, when we start talking about reparations, now you got this whole movement of go back to Africa. Go back to Africa and leave America. Abandon America. All right. So you got two things at play here. You have the abandoning tethers who always run and hide anyway. And then you got the dominant society who's getting behind them. All right. You already seen that you got the trans tethers now. So there's new recruits that are in the tether movement. And now you also have we got to send Black folks home, but they don't want to go home. We got to deport them, but we can't deport them. Okay. Now let's make it look like they want to leave anyway. So now you're starting to get that. Updated has their tactics become. Their tactics used to simply be, Black folks, don't you want to go to the motherland? Now they're starting to say, you've won. Everybody won. You guys won. See, when he says that they've won, that's his slick way of trying to make us believe that we're defeated. That's what he's trying to get us to believe that we've defeated, like we've lost. And that's why he said it. See, he wants us to sit there and go, damn, the dominant society won. Oh, man, Trump Trump is the victorious person. It's time that we got to go home. No room for us in America. We lost everybody. Pack all your bags. We got to go. You see, it's all reverse psychology right there, okay? But in reality, he's going to reverse tether because his ass is going back home. And foundational Black Americans going to be laughing at his ass when he go back. Remember that face. So when you see somebody floating on the goddamn inner tube out somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, all right, and I bet he'd be waving that Haitian flag then, right? You're not qualified to speak for foundational Black Americans. You're not qualified to speak for the lineage. You're not qualified to speak for the heritage. I understand that they threw you some bushmeat butter biscuits. I get that. I understand that somebody pulled out a goddamn clipper and try to correct and eradicate your hairline. I understand that. But you are a tether, we are foundational, and you have no qualifications to speak on my lineage, heritage, and culture. Send your ass back home. And that's why the G-checking is in full swing. Family ABK can go their way as well, all right? The tethers can get that ABK smoke just as much as anybody else. So the fact that his hairline's still messed up, the bush meat butter biscuits are all crumbed up, and we are still standing on business, failure. Failure. You can make all them videos, you can say whatever you want, they still failed. So this is what they're doing and trying to get foundational Black Americans to go. Now they're trying to get us to flee. That's what they're doing. And nah, we don't run around here with that defeated attitude. We don't run around here talking about who won. You are really speaking for yourself, aren't you, Mr. Fufu? Keep it a buck, Mr. Fufu. You lost. You lost in life. All right. Let me go ahead and translate that. Can we go ahead and do some foundational Black American certified translation? Translation. When he said you've won, he's really talking about the dominant society won and he lost. He lost his homeland. He lost his village. He lost his woman. He lost his friend. He lost his dignity. Matter of fact, I don't think he lost his dignity because I don't think a tether ever had it. I don't think he ever had it. So all that lost talk is really on him. See, they're trying to tether projection. All right. And we don't deflect or project. Okay. What we do is that we G-check. And I'm going to go ahead and let the world know what he's really trying to get at. He's really trying to say is y'all foundational Black Americans are not fleeing with me back home. And fleers hate being alone. Fleers don't want to go back home and they don't want to be alone. So the fact that he's trying to put all that up, we messing up his money. And he's trying to say, y'all got my money bad and I ain't going to get these goddamn bushmeat biscuits if y'all stay here in America. I told y'all they need us to eat. I told you without foundational Black Americans, they will starve. I told you two things to spot a tether. You can smell a tether coming from a mile away because they don't wear deodorant. And you can hear a tether's stomach growling because they can't eat off of foundational Black Americans. His ass was doing both of them. And they got more propaganda out there now. And you're starting to see videos like this. More rhetoric trying to convince FBA to stop fighting because they're so afraid of what we're doing. Watch this propaganda.
What if over 40 million African Americans left the US and returned to Africa? This would be one of the largest migrations in human history. The US economy would take a major hit, losing trillions in spending power and a crucial workforce. From music to sports and activism, Black culture has shaped America. Its absence would leave a cultural void. Meanwhile, Africa could see a surge in population, skills, and investments, boosting economies across the continent. But could African nations handle the sudden change? Resources, housing, and cultural integration would be major challenges. With millions of new minds and talents, Africa could rise as a global superpower, changing the world order. What if over 40 million African Americans left the US and returned to Africa?
Look at that. Return where? What you mean return? You can't go to a place that you've never been to. Nice goddamn try. Nice try. You see now, family? Look at this picture. Look at this photo right here, y'all. Watch this.
Over 40 million African Americans.
Right there. That picture is very damning. Look how they got America, and then they got 40 million foundational Black Americans, and they got us all like we're walking away. And notice how the flag is pointing, directing towards Africa. This is the FLIR propaganda that they've been trying to push on us, everyone. This is the result of delineation. And this is a good thing because this lets you know that they're afraid of the delineation movement. Everything that you see the dominant society do is a direct result of them being afraid of what we're doing well. So they're trying to push us. What if 40 million of y'all just walked up, just left, just packed your bags, didn't say bye to nobody, just fled like we flee? This is some of those, why don't you flee like we flee? They're trying to put the FLIR disease on foundational Black Americans that all the other people in the diaspora have. You see what they're doing, fam? This reeks of desperation. It reeks of desperation as much as it reeks of bushmeat. But it's going to be all right for them because they'll be back home and we'll stay home. Big difference between going back home and staying home. I'm at home even if I don't get off the couch. They got to hop on the inner tube, hop on a plane, or jump a fence. And they still ain't back home yet.
Americans left the US and returned to Africa. This would be one of the largest migrations in human history. The US economy would take a major hit, losing trillions in spending power and a crucial workforce. From music to sports and activism, Black culture has shaped America. Its absence would leave a cultural void. Meanwhile, Africa could see a surge in population, skills, and investments.
Oh, y'all see now? Notice, family, they started saying what Africa would get. You see how they're trying to Wakanda? You knew the Wakanda message was in there. Listen, family, everything is littered with talking points and it's littered with propaganda that they smush in between a bunch of falsehoods. That's what this is right here. Now they got to hit you with the, but if you did leave, ooh, man, them damn investments in Africa, y'all not ready for that, y'all. Now they got to Wakanda us.
Africa could see a surge in population, skills, and investments, boosting economies across the continent. But could African nations handle the sudden change? Resources, housing, and cultural integration would be major challenges. With millions of new minds and talents, Africa could...
Then how come Africa doesn't have that today? How come? Family, Africa is the biggest continent in the world. How come Africa doesn't have any of that now? Why does Africa need foundational Black Americans? All those people talking about leaving and running and hopping and skipping and jumping. How come Africa hasn't provided Africa with that today? We provided what we have today. You notice right there, it was all doom and gloom about foundational Black Americans, but it was all Wakanda with them. They got to Wakanda it up because they feel if they can Wakanda it up, then that means Africa's going to win. And that can try to get us go. Listen, here's the thing. For all the tells, listen, we ain't going no goddamn where. Foundational Black Americans, we built this thing. What I said in Washington, D.C., family, foundational Black Americans, we not only built America, okay? We didn't just build America. We created America. We're made in America. We're born in America and raised in America. We're from America, so we love America, and they ain't like us because we run America. That's the motto. That's the mantra. That's what we sticking with, whether they like it or not. So this is the tetherism that you've been seeing. This is the tetherism that they've been trying to push on the foundationals, y'all, and we're not going for none of that. You ain't going to put no flair on me, all right? That's one thing, fam. Yeah, absolutely. Ain't never leaving. You ain't putting no flair-isms on us. That right there is what I say, fam. They getting their ABK right now. Because remember, it's about anti-Black karma. And I look at all that right there, y'all, is anti-Blackness. It's anti-Blackness being done by melanated immigrants. We went there, we said it, we saw it. That ain't no more than somebody coming over here practicing the dominant society tactics with some melanin. That's all. These ain't nothing but white supremacists with melanin. Can we go there? Can we say that? Can we speak it? Is it real in the field? You goddamn right it is. So they think that they're going to try to hit us with all of that, knowing goddamn well foundational Black Americans ain't falling for it, ain't folding, ain't running, ain't hiding, no matter what. What I say, when it comes to FBA, we don't run, we don't hide, we stand on business, and we multiply. And we're multiplying every single day. And that is why we've been growing. Don't get it twisted, tangled, or messed up. Look at the birth rates from other communities. I ain't going to say no names. And then look at ours. It just came out recently, family. Do you know that foundational Black Americans, by what they've counted, because remember, they undercount. Do you guys know that we just crossed the threshold of 50 million? All that stuff about the Black birth rate and all that, no, we doing good. Brothers and sisters are on the come up. We're in an uptick, fam. Right now, foundational Black Americans statistically are doing as good as we've ever done. Somebody's going to say, well, no, the best thing we ever done was post-slavery. Yeah, post-slavery, you had the devil's punch bowl and they could put a rope around you. You ain't doing that today. Okay. And if you do, the brothers and sisters, the riders going to find out and some ABK going to be dished out. We are doing very good because it is the grassroots movement. I told everybody it's the first time in modern history where our community is being controlled by the grassroots. The community is always supposed to be led by the grassroots. You're not supposed to have the goddamn boule running the community. You're not supposed to have the Democratic Party running the community. The people who are supposed to run the community are the people who care the most about the community, who put it on the line for the community, who love and have a passion and affection for the community. That's us in the grassroots. So you wonder why we winning right now. Look, there you go. So we in here deep. Yep, 50 million strong. Yep, 50 million plus strong. Absolutely. Stronger than ever. And they're going down. So that's one agent talk. Fam, I told you today, I said it, I was going to break this down to the T and I was going to give y'all some of that real certified, thorough Black alpha energy. Watch this. I already showed you how some of these people are coming out here and they're just saying things, right? We're in the just say something era because they used to say things and Black folks would believe it. We showed up, this reparations generation, this 50 million plus strong generation. We said, I don't give a damn what you say. I'm FBA and I say so. Yeah. I'm FBA and I say so. That's the new generation we in. No longer is it the I'm a tether and I say so. I'm a fleer and I say so. I'm a runner, hopper, skipper, jumper. I'm a person of color and I say so. This is the I'm a foundational Black American and I say so. And when I say so, that means what I say goes. It ain't no different than mama or daddy. Go out there and take out the trash. Why? Because I said so. Go do your homework. Why? Because I said so. Family, we ain't saying nothing that we ain't already been told. See, what we've been doing, families, we've been taking the energy that was in our household anyway. Wait till they get a load of us, right? Everything that we've been doing in our household, we just been taking to the world. And it's showing you that that household energy that we had on the Sunday afternoon when nobody watching, when mom and dad was in there talking in the kitchen while your brothers and sisters was outside playing and you was sitting on the floor watching some cartoons, all we did was took that energy, put it on the main stage, and now everybody's asses are shook. That's how strong FBA energy is, fam. We'll take a quiet Sunday afternoon energy and whoop your ass. And that's what we're doing. So they're sending out all these people to just say something. Now they're just saying, we lost, we here, we flee. Notice the last guy. He was saying things. He was paid for. That man was paid for. All right. He was paid for to say those things. Anytime they overemphasize a word, that means that individual is reading off of a script. And notice every time they overemphasize a word, it's never reparations, right? How do you know somebody's lying? It's because everything that they overemphasize is something to our detriment. It's never an asset to us. It's always liability. You've never seen somebody say reparations. If that guy said reparations as many times as he said leaving, then we would see. But the fact that he kept saying things that are detriment to us. I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. I'm fleeing, I'm fleeing, I'm fleeing. By the way, I'm fleeing. Knock, knock, who's there? Fleeing. You know, every time they come out here and they overemphasize something, that right there is a con artist. That's a snake. That's someone right there who's a jackal trying to hustle you. So one thing they've been doing, family, is using all of these terms that we don't say. See, they have to compensate. They know we don't use those words, so they got to use those words. A lot of these little TikTokers and influencers, these people is getting a bag to try to undo what we have done. Malcolm X said it best. Malcolm X said, anytime somebody who was certified would talk, they pay somebody to come back and undo what you just said a minute ago. So y'all look at this one right here. We got more. Y'all let me know what stands out in this area right here. Do you see more overemphasizing in this one? And I'm not even going to tell you ahead of time. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and be the person to decide. Look at this right here. It says FBA, Black Americans are. Y'all ready for this one? Y'all ready for more trick bag language to try to put the Fleer's disease on foundationals? Guess what? We don't run, we don't hide, we stand on business and we multiply. Watch this, y'all.
Black Americans are Pan-Africans, and everybody knows it. And are Pan-Africans, and everybody knows it. Americans are Pan-Africans, and everybody knows it. And if we're being perfectly honest, nobody's more Pan-African than Black Americans.
What?
And in reality, why y'all don't want to kiss the ring? Everybody should want to kiss the ring of African Americans, but y'all don't want to kiss the ring because y'all would rather talk about us on the public stage. Like, mind you, like I said, everybody knows that we're proudly Pan-African, but...
Family, what word and what term and what failed, dried up ideology is this man overemphasizing? Because I'm only 28 seconds in, and I believe that he's already overly used Pan-Africanism. And then notice how he talks about it with an absolute. Everybody knows, without a shadow of a doubt, everybody across the planet knows. Black Americans, Pan-African. FBA, Pan-African. We all Pan-African. Is he using Pan-African the same way that the last guy was using we're leaving? Is he overemphasizing Pan-African, you guys? Is he trying to force this? Is this very forced? Does this look very pathetic? Is this somebody who's trying to convince foundational Black Americans that we need to adopt scam Africanism the same way the last guy was trying to convince foundational Black Americans that we need to adopt leaving and fleeing? You're damn right that's what they're doing. This is the just say something era and hope it sticks. Unfortunately, this is the I'm FBA and I say so era and we run the goddamn yard.
The evolved true version of being Pan-African is saying, bitch, I can claim this whole motherfucking world. All this shit is mine. Everything's fucking mine. And the reason why is because, yes, we fucking know we're all humans come from Africa. We fucking know that. Dummies. But to be...
All humans come from Africa. Notice he threw that in there. Notice that, fam. That's still attaching us to what? To Africa. Notice he has FBA in the corner. How come he doesn't have Pan-African in the corner? He apparently keeps saying it over and over and over. This is agent talk right here, you guys. This is either paid for agency or self-serving agency, but it's still agency and it ain't like us. So you already heard Pan-Africanism and everybody comes from Africa.
To truly be Pan-African, you have to claim the fucking world. And mind you, yes, we can absolutely just claim Africa, but we can claim the whole motherfucking world too. African people, brown people, melanated people.
Oh, brown people and melanated. Here comes the melanated talk, you guys. You knew it was on its way. Oh, and the melanated people and the brown people. Did he just throw in melanated? And what have we been saying? Melanated immigrant, right? Okay, here you go, trying to undo what we've been saying, y'all.
Originate from all 7 continents, 5 continents, 4 continents, whatever the fuck. So if we want to say we're from fucking Norway, Russia, China, we can claim all that shit. It's all of ours. We own that shit.
I'm not from Norway or Russia or any of that. And if you're going to speak like that, then take that FBA, my lineage, off of it. How are you talking about FBA and somehow you start talking about Norway? This man started talking about FBA. Notice who he got in that headline. Notice who he got on that tag. You notice who he trying to bring them eyeballs to his rhetoric to. He ain't got none of them other people that he got affection for, but he want to put FBA on top. Nah, bruh. This is Tether Fatigue.
And Africa proudly too. And Africa. We definitely, absolutely, positively are going to claim America because it belongs to us too. But y'all refuse to kiss the ring because y'all were the true ones that were brainwashed by white supremacy. Because even though we deal with people that are, brainwashed here and all the things that, a lot of brainwashing, but y'all were the ones that believe them. We don't believe them. So y'all also got some real work to do. So y'all would kiss the ring if y'all weren't.
What's this kiss the ring stuff? Y'all need to kiss the ring. I love Africa. Y'all do need to kiss the ring. Boy, we go home to Africa. Man, if you don't just kiss the ring, ain't we all African? Sounds like he's trying to throw in some talk to make it sound appealing to us. Notice that. You got to also remember that tactic as well. That's another tactic people use, family. Let me go ahead and break this down to the fam who's in here right now, okay? Another one of the tactics they love to use is they got to still sound like us a little bit, all right? They got to start saying things, and we don't say that. We don't run around and say, y'all better kiss the ring. Y'all better kiss it. We're not concerned with anybody kissing the ring, okay? Get my goddamn reparations money. We're not even concerned with nobody. I'm not on some they need to kiss the ring. He's trying to throw in some rhetoric that he believes can have us over here saying, that's true now. We all number one. And he mixes that in with we're all African and Pan-African and everybody knows it. Notice what he said. He said, we are Pan-Africans. He said, Black Americans are Pan-Africans and everybody knows it. Black Americans are Pan-Africans without a doubt. Black Americans absolutely, 100% positively are Pan-Africans. That's who we are. We. And then he throws in some kiss the ring. Nah. Nice try, partner. You see what he's trying to do? He's trying to appeal to us, make it sound like he's standing on some type of business, but in reality, he's standing on Pan-Africanism. And he thinks just by saying it, throwing it against the wall or tossing it in the air, we're going to accept it. No, we will not accept it because we do not respect it. Proceed.
Under the spell of them. But y'all under the spell of them, and they got y'all all brainwashed. So y'all can't even kiss the ring and understand that, wow, we're the most evolved version of melanated people. We know all the tricks, all the weird shit. We know the demeanor to have, and it ain't no fuck.
No, we're not melanated people. We're black. Okay. The fact that he's saying melanated people. Okay. Julio's melanated. Okay. Myron Gaines has some melanin. We denounce the melanin stuff. All that melanin does not connect people. All right. The majority of people who have melanin are not black. Okay. Maybe about 2% of people who have melanin are actually black people. And they reside right here in America. So nice try. We're going to try that one again, homie.
Fucking fake smiley ass demeanor. It's a fuck you. Give me my shit. Run me my shit. Black Americans should have always been welcomed with love and open arms and indirectly treated like victims, but yes, still kiss the ring.
What is up with this dude to kiss the ring? And we should be treated like, did he say we should be treated like victims? Family, I ain't out here acting, talking, or walking like no victim. And then he hits you with the kiss the ring. So y'all need to respect us. Y'all need to accept us and treat us like victims. And while you're treating us like victims, y'all need to go ahead and kiss the ring too. I don't believe none of that fake confidence, y'all. That sounds very, very contrived. Okay, I don't believe none of that. That's all false to me, fam. That's not real confidence right there. That sounds like somebody who's trying to sprinkle in some FBA energy, kind of. I don't think he's FBA. To be honest with you, I question his paperwork. I don't believe none of that. I think you're lying. I think what you are is a non-FBA tether who's trying to sprinkle in some what you think is FBA talking points, and they're not. Some kiss the ring, which we don't say, in essence, to try to get foundational Black Americans branded or rebranded with a failing Pan-Africanism. That's what that is. And that used to work a long time ago until we showed up. So no, that doesn't work, fam. That doesn't work at all. And watch, fam, I can skip right to the point and he still brings it up.
We can elevate because everybody knows that Black Americans are Pan-African, but we own the fucking world. We own this shit.
Family, that right there was 3 minutes later in his conversation. I fast forwarded 3 minutes later and he threw it in there again. So do you see exactly what we're talking about, family? You see exactly what we somebody said, kiss my country, you know what? I'll be there. You see what they've been trying to do. So right there, to our point, fam, look at all these videos and things popping up to try to get foundational Black Americans back on the scam Africanism or on some fleeing. The same way the Democrats do everything to get us on the plantation is the same way everybody's trying to get us on Africa, trying to get us back to scam Africanism, trying to people of colors. There's a whole influx now of trying to get us back somewhere. And that's a good thing. You know why? Because if you're trying to get us back, that means we left. You understand that? We left the false ideology of scam Africanism because we understood it's exactly that. It's scam. It doesn't work for us. So they send out this guy, threw him a couple dollars and said, hey, make sure you talk to FBA, sprinkle in some of their talking points, things that we really don't say, and make sure you overemphasize and say scam African 52 times. And then he went out there, Pan-African, Pan-African, Pan-African. Everyone knows it. No. What we know is that we are foundational Black Americans and scam Africanism does not work. You can have that. We don't want that. There you go. That's the facts. That's the root of the whole situation. Foundational Black Americans ain't on none of that. Yeah. And all the kiss the ring talk, that was a dead giveaway, family. FBA don't talk like that. All right. We're not concerned with any of these people anyway. We're not running around here on that type of time. So all of that right there, fam, was another clear, desperate attempt to try to get foundational Black Americans on board with something that foundational Black Americans will never rock with. The days of that scam Africanism is over, and the I'm foundational Black American, and I say so, is in. And fam, they got a lot of those people running around here. A lot of them. Well, I mean, they're just coming everywhere. And the fact that these people are coming everywhere trying to get foundational Black Americans on a page that we're just not on, desperation kicks in the process. I'll tell everybody, remember, this is good. I want y'all to lock this in. All of this stuff is good. Why is it good? It's because it shows you that we're winning. All this is confirmation. See, two people are going to see it in two different ways. One person is going to see all that Pan-African, kiss the ring, kiss the ring, kiss the ring, trash. Somebody else is going to see all that. You've won, it's over, we're fleeing, and Wakanda. And they're going to see those things and think, damn, these folks is really coming after us. I see those things and say, these folks are really desperate. Because I remember a time when they didn't have to do all that. See, if you're old enough to remember, y'all remember the time when they would just do things and folks would get in line. Now they got to come up with these videos and they got to spend the money and they don't get no refunds because they have to try to convince you. You got to try to convince me. And every attempt that you've made has failed. And every attempt that you're going to try to make will fail. I see the future. The future is rejection, separation, standing on business, and telling all their asses to run that goddamn money and kick rocks. So this is just confirmation that these folks ain't got nothing, y'all. Nothing. But another thing, and this is what I really wanted to talk to the family about. We went through the person trying to get us with scam Africanism. We talked about the guy who tried to get us to flee. So you got one person trying to get us with an ideology that doesn't exist. And then you got another person who's trying to get us to flee and we don't flee, right? Those are the two tactics, scam Africanism and flee. Because everybody wants to make a fleer out of a freedman. But freedmen don't flee. So you're wasting your time and your energy. The next thing they're doing is they're using what's going on over in Africa, okay, with Ibrahim Traoré. Have y'all noticed now you're seeing them trying to create this divide where they want foundational Black Americans to start doing what we did back in the 60s and the 70s and the 90s, to go in the 80s and to go over there and pick up arms and start fighting for Africa. How many of y'all have been seeing these people who have been running around here trying to convince foundational Black Americans that we need to go over there and get involved in the Africa situation? Let's go there, fam, because there's a hell of a lot going on in Africa. Ibrahim Touré, he's got his movement going. He's 37 years old. He's really talking about changing Africa, and he's really talking about being somebody for the people. But he's doing that in Africa, and he's doing that for his people. My brothers and sisters, all of y'all right here in the chat, y'all doing the same thing. For America. He represents his block. We represent our block. He represents his hood. We represent our hood. He represents his country, and we represent our country. And our country we built. So where I'm looking at the situation going on over there with him is go ahead and do what you do. And it ain't got nothing to do with us, because we are foundational Black Americans and we handle what's going on in our house. I'm not going to the neighbor's house and asking the neighbor, can he pay my light bill? Or can I pay his? So now they're using that same tactic of what's the word Johannesburg. They're using the same tactic of Nelson Mandela. They're trying to go down the thing and say, okay, let's use a situation over there in Africa to try to get foundational Black Americans involved. And family, we're going to watch this and monitor this all summer. You're going to see a hell of a lot of people who are going to pop up and try to convince us that we need to have some type of united front and we need to go out there and pick up arms for Africa. See, they can't get us with Wakanda. They can't get us with invest in Africa. Now they're saying, yo, African brothers over there, and he needs your help. Y'all been saying that Africa need to stand up. They are now. Y'all gonna go help them, and we ain't falling for that. We ain't gonna get harmed in another man's conflict. He can do what he do there. We gonna do what we do here. Watch this right here, family. Watch some of the rhetoric that has been coming out of this movement. This right here was just the other day. This was May 25th, okay? They had a protest, and I'm not sure. I think this might have been in New York, if I'm not mistaken. Watch how they're trying desperate as hell to get foundational Black Americans to go do a apartheid and go lend our soldier services to Africa. Watch this, y'all.
Abraham Trailway. I am one of the slaves that was taken to America. We have witnessed the of Malcolm X. We have witnessed the of Martin Luther King. We have witnessed the exile of Marcus Garvey. We have witnessed the of Fred Hampton. We have witnessed the of Huey P. Newton. And now the conditions in America is an almost post-apocalyptic condition of when everybody who has ever stood up has been.
Oh, every person he named was a foundational Black American. What the hell that got to do with Africa? And family, are y'all living apocalyptic? Y'all notice how everybody's trying to tell us how bad we got it? Everybody trying to tell us about us. Every time you turn around, it's a Tether, it's a Fleer, it's a Democrat. Oh, it's so bad. Black people got it bad. I don't see that. Black folks out here line dancing, please. Please. Y'all trying to tell the line dancers how apocalyptic it is. Anybody running around here trying to tell you how bad it is for Black Americans is somebody trying to get Black Americans to leave America so they can come over here and take your place. Don't listen to none of these negative, low vibrational, low frequency ass people trying to tell you your life is apocalyptic. Is your life apocalyptic? Because mine damn sure ain't. I love being FBA. I love being certified. I love being a freedman. I love Georgia. I love Ohio. I love the South. I love the Midwest. Love the East Coast. Love the West Coast. Love my whole lineage. Get the hell up out of here with some apocalyptic, partner.
P. Newton. And now the conditions in America is an almost post-apocalyptic condition of when everybody who has ever stood up has been. Oh. And now the same government has now put the same order on Ibrahim Traoré. When General Langley got on TV and said Ibrahim Traoré is a danger to the people of Burkina Faso, and we need to go over there and save the people of Burkina Faso from Ibrahim Traoré. That is a order. That is the same message that they put out on Muammar Gaddafi.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah told us, he said it's a unity. We must unite now. We shouldn't wait for any time again. We are sick and tired of West imperialism. Religious division. We are sick and tired of West imperialism. We have to change all the narrative in the country, in the continent of Africa. Sorry. So, dear African youth, dear youth across the Africa diaspora, this is the time for you to arise up. This is the time for you to fight for Africa. No matter whoever you are, don't see yourself as anything. If you're a child, if you're a cripple, anybody has to stand for Africa and stand for the Sahel state. Yes, because the Sahel state is the hope for Africa. The Sahel state is the future for Africa. We must support and protect Ibrahim Traore because he is the future for Africa. He's our hero. And through him, Africa is going to unite. Africa is going to develop.
We seeing what Abraham Traore doing. Us Black Americans need to do the same. We need to do the same. Because I told y'all, bro, it's about not being scared. It's about not being scared to get unalive. You just got to protect yourself, bro. That's it, bro. That's how we get freedom.
Did this man just say that we need to go out there and put our life on the line, literally? Did this man literally just say we need to go out there and put our life on the line? I heard that clear like y'all heard that. For Africa, notice they don't ever say that for reparations, though.
Because I told y'all, bro, it's about not being scared. It's about not being scared to get unalive. You just got to protect yourself, bro. That's it, bro. That's how we get freedom. That's how we get results. That's how we get everything we want, bro. We got to show these people we ain't scared to get unalive, bro. While Abraham Traore and his people over there fighting in Africa, we need to be fighting over here in America. Since they destroyed us at the same time, we need to rise up at the same time. Because yes,
they didn't destroy us. We're not destroyed. Listen to this rhetoric, y'all. We're not destroyed people. The man just sat there and said, well, since we all been destroyed at the same time, they destroyed us. What you mean destroyed? We pretty good. We good. We got a reparations movement, delineation movement. We out here making money. Our birth rates are going up. What the hell destroyed are you talking about, man? And then the man openly said, we need to go on over there and get unalive. That's what we need to do. And he said, we just need to go on and do it. We're not destroyed people. And by the way, we didn't go destroy Africa. Let me say this. I've been saying this for years, okay? When we came out of slavery in the 1860s, they were going into slavery with the Berlin conferences, okay? So when we was going up, they was going down. So let's make this clear. This thing where we got some type of mirrored struggle, no. First off, they sold a lot of the Black Africans any damn way, if you want to go there. But leaving that on the side, we weren't going through the same thing. Foundational Black Americans went through all of the years of everything we went through, indigenous and in the slavery era, defeated all of that, and then we were on the come up. When Africa was going through the Berlin conferences and the scramble for Africa, we were literally building places like Black Wall Street family. That was the Reconstruction era. You're not going to compare the Reconstruction era with the scramble for Africa. Nice try trying to mirror our situations. I reject that and I rebuke that.
They destroyed us at the same time. In the 60s and the 50s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, when they was over there destroying Africa, they was destroying us Black Americans at the same time. We both were getting destroyed at the same damn time. They kicking them out their minds and everything. Yeah, Abraham Traore kicking eight, bro. I'm gonna make million videos about him. Cause, bro, we alive to see this. We weren't alive when they assassinated Gaddafi and lied on Gaddafi. We weren't alive when they did that shit. We alive.
What? Excuse me. Hold up. Fam, I was gonna let it ride. Did this man just say we weren't alive when they took out Gaddafi? Family, that happened during the Obama administration. That was during the Obama administration. If I'm not mistaken, that was his first term. That was the whole Benghazi thing. Benghazi was a whole big, in Libya, was a whole big thing amongst Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton right after Barack Obama. Did the man just sit there and say we weren't around for Gaddafi? And by the way, let me say this about Gaddafi, all right? Gaddafi was doing things for Africa, but Gaddafi was still Arabic, all right? And Gaddafi wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the Arabic slave trade that conquered all of North Africa. I don't view Gaddafi as some type of African legend. Though he was doing things here, there, cool, nice and dandy. What my man say on In Too Deep, you say you down, a lot of people say they down, okay? So Gaddafi was just a few years ago. This man acting like Gaddafi, somebody we read about from the 1930s. Y'all remember Gaddafi and all the things Gaddafi did? Man, Gaddafi something. The fact that they uphold Gaddafi, an Arabic man who's a product of the Arabic slave trade, that tells you a lot. Fam, I don't care what it is. All those people who are the abolitionists who did all these things for black people, we don't hold them in high regard. I don't run around here talking about some, man, those few white folks that was down and they was helping free slaves, man, woo, man, we need to put a poster on the wall. Man, damn that. You know, what they need to do is stop their community. That's what it. I ain't out here celebrating none of them. So, no, I'm cool with the Gaddafi stuff. No, I'm cool. And that was just a few years ago as well. So the man's got his time frame and his timetables all messed up. And I'm not going over to Africa, putting it all on the line for nobody when I can put it all on the line for reparations right here for my sisters and brothers.
We're alive this time, bro. We're alive, bro. We need to fight. We need to fight with Abraham Trohe, and we need to fight for him.
France, Europe, America. How Africans use their resources concern you? How does that concern Una? Una, they concern about your own country and your citizens, or Una, they concern about Africa? Can you leave us alone?
Brothers in America are African, so-called African-American brothers, FBAs, etc., etc. We have to understand that there's a major shift coming on. It has been transpiring, and that we have to get on code and follow suit of the things that we have never got on code together.
Abraham Trailway. I am one of the slaves that was taken to America.
And I am the Indigenous foundational Black American, so none of that stuff applies to me. There you go, you guys. You see it. That's another one. Fam, what did we just do here, fam? This is an epic. I'm going to have to cut all of this up. The last hour of this broadcast has been one for the ages. Epic proportions. We just broke down all of these different tactics, and these is real tactics. These ain't some like real subtle things. These are real complex tactics to try to get foundational Black Americans to go to Africa to put down our citizenship, because this is what it's all about. It's to stop us from being Americans, because like we said in the beginning of this video, of this broadcast, of this episode, being a foundational Black American is too much power for one lineage. All right, that's what they're trying to do. We've seen the person who just said, we give up, we're leaving. That's the first guy. Then we seen the other guy who said the world knows that FBA are really Pan-Africans. That's the second guy. And now you see these people saying that we need to go and put our lives on the line for Africa, and they ain't said a damn thing about reparations. How you ain't talking about reparations in the reparations generation? You got it all tangled, twisted, messed up, can't walk, can't talk, family. So there you go. We are standing on FBA business, and the only business that we have to concern ourselves with is us. See, now they're trying to get us to the point where we take our resources and give them to everyone. See, if we were to do any of the things they're saying, we'll never get what we want right here in America. First off, the first guy said we need to leave. Go ahead and leave, and you can cancel reparations. That's just not going to happen because you won't be here. Then, on the other hand, they want us to take our money to Africa as well. Then, on the other hand, the Pan-Africanism, then we'd be putting our resources in Africa. This guy's saying go fight for Ibrahim Toure. That'd be that. I haven't even seen Ibrahim Toure tell us to go over there and fight for him. But all these people right here are saying it. They know that once foundational Black Americans start to divert our resources to other movements, we have diluted our own. There's only 24 hours in the day, family. There's only 50 million of us. We have to divert every single ounce of energy towards this movement. That's why I would say each one teach one. We all do a little, then we all do a lot. And we've all been doing a little, so therefore we've accomplished a lot. There ain't no leaders. The code is the leader. The lineage is the leader. That's why it's so beautiful, fam. We are the first people who have a lineage-based movement. This is brilliant. It's brilliant that we as a collective said, you know who's going to be the leader? The lineage. You know what the movement's going to be based around? The lineage. Not an organization, not a person, not a group, the lineage. And we're wondering why we're accomplishing so much. I can't think of anybody who's had a lineage-based movement. Never seen it. I've seen an illegal alien, which is a small section and portion. All right. I've seen a organization in terms of a political party, in terms of an economic party. I've seen those. I've never seen a lineage-based movement. And that's beautiful because we are a lineage. That tells you two things, fam. One, it's brilliant, and it tells you that we stick together. We move together. All my brothers and sisters, without all of us ain't nothing. I say all the time, fam, if I'm not out here moving with the family, then my ass ain't going nowhere then. That's what it is. It's going to be all FBA or nothing. That's just how I operate. If the family ain't pushing, I'm not pushing. I'm one of the people, and this is how I was raised by my mama and my daddy. It was like this, simply as this. If your brother can't come, you ain't coming. And I'm proud like that. That's how I get down. My sisters and brothers in this chat can't come, then there won't be no damn Black Alpha. I'll tell you that. We'll have our own goddamn party over here. Ain't gonna be no more. You can come, but your brother and sisters got to stay outside. My sisters can't come, then I'm not going. My cousin can't come, I ain't going. That's how we was raised. Didn't I tell y'all we took the energy of our households, put it into a lineage-based movement, and now here come it for the whole world. That's what we've been doing, fam. That's how we doing it. One blood. I like that. That's how we've been doing. We ain't did nothing different. We ain't did nothing different. See, we're not being bogged down with Boulezism. That's somebody else's stuff. Liberal, conservative, that's somebody else. Pan-African, that's another continent. We're just taking that simple foundational Black American energy and culture that we've lived every day of our lives, and we all got together, convened, and now we have a lineage-based movement that is sweeping the world to the point where the world wants us to go back to Africa to go fight. So they try to get us with scam Africanism. They try to get us with the fleeing disease, and now they're trying to get us with they got a movement going on in Africa. Y'all need to be a part of it. They want all the fathers to leave their wife and kids to go fight in Africa. We're not doing that because we seen brothers and sisters did that way back in the what? Back in the 1960s, 1970s, and the 80s and the early 90s, and we didn't get a thank you for it. Nelson Mandela came over here, and Nelson Mandela told everybody, all right, yeah, thanks, bye. I'm not getting involved. What Nelson Mandela said, we just played that clip last week, okay, from the great Khalid Muhammad. Nelson Mandela came over here, and he told us, I ain't getting in y'all fight. That's y'all fight. Okay, so we're saying the same exact thing, family. We're saying the same exact thing. And we've been on one too. And we've been regulating with no remorse. All right. Standing on business is exactly that, business. There's no in between. There's no coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Y'all continue, and I mean this, fam. Y'all continue to stand on certified business. Don't let these people kind of, try to shame you, trying to twist you up, tangle you. Y'all continue to do everything that y'all doing. That's the way we moving, and that's the way we getting it. And the best way to do that, fam, is become, 100% certified. And when I say 100% certified, family, that means all of these tethers. Think about all the disrespect from these tethers, right? And let them know when we get to regulating and we get to handing out them L's, they got to take it. They just got to deal with it. They got to admit it. They got to accept it. They got to acknowledge it. And now we've been doing that to the point, fam, where we ain't been giving these people no room for none of their nonsense. See, when you allow a tether to get 1 little inch, they're going to take a mile. All right. They'll flee about 5 miles. So if they'll flee for 5 miles, what do you think they're going to do if you give it to them? What we've been doing is we've been delineating. The best thing about the delineation process is I've been hearing it coming from brothers and sisters on their day-to-day life. We all do a little, we all do a lot. I've had people tell me, man, I checked somebody at my job today. I had somebody hit me up the other day, all right, on Instagram. Shout out to you. They said that they was checking some person at their job or a friend that was trying to hit them with some, man, well, the Jamaicans and all that, they checked them there. I hear so many stories that don't even make the news, don't make the cameras about Black Americans delineating. So they think delineation is just some stuff that we doing on the internet. No. We doing it on the internet. We doing it in the streets. We doing it in real time because we live in that real life. And we're not out here being shamed for what we stand on. See, they used to be able to get Black Americans to get all in their feelings, all in their emotions. We're not emotional. We're not in our feelings. We're in our business. And our business is moving mountains. I had a person call up the other day, family. He called into one of the spaces that we had. Shout out to the family. And the first thing he starts doing is says how we need to vote out the Black Caucus, some weird stuff he starts talking about. And this is a Somali Canadian. And he starts saying, well, I want you to do this, and I'm here for support and feedback. He gave me about 100 different answers on why he was here. Because one of the things I always do, I always ask people, I say, why are you here? Why are you here in this space right now? That's what I want to know. Because I'm going to let them tell the family why they're in our space so we can go ahead and regulate. And he starts doing all this babble and everything. And then Black Alpha just, I'm a very patient guy with the lineage. I'm a very impatient guy when you ain't of the lineage. So I went ahead and just intervened, and I said, okay, fine. You're here. You're talking about foundational Black Americans. I don't care what you got to say. Right now, as we speak, you go ahead and tell me what's really going on. And family, let me tell you something. Did the man run? Did he hide? You damn right he did. Watch this right here. I'm going to show y'all exactly what I mean by we ain't out here taking no losses or anything. Y'all look at this. Here we go. Check this out. This happens when you stand on goddamn business, and this is what happens when you regulate. This man comes into our space trying to run some type of interference, and man, I was not going for it at all. Check this out.
You didn't come with support. You came with a suggestion, which we call putting your nose in someone else's business. So let's just pretend that you didn't lie to me right there. Why are you making suggestions about what we should do when it doesn't concern you? And those reparations you don't even qualify for. So again, give me the real truth here. Come on now. You're
So the reason why I came here is just I just want to listen to you guys and just put my feedback, like, invoice.
But a minute ago you said you came here to support us. So how'd you change so fast in 15 seconds? You said you support us a minute ago, and then when I said no, that's not support, that's a suggestion. Now you're saying you came here for feedback. Feedback is not support. Feedback is a suggestion. So you just kind of flip-flopped right here in front of a bunch of Black Americans, sir. So be honest. Listen, one thing about me, I keep it all the way real. I provide people with the opportunity to say why they're really here. Okay? That's what I do, because I need my brothers and sisters to understand your agenda. And we can never understand your agenda if you're lying. Matter of fact, we will, because we're going to know that you're coming with false energy. So again, why are you concerned and you feel that you have to provide feedback to my lineage here in America? You said it was feedback, support. You said it was this, it was that. Which one is it?
No, I just wanted to support. That's just pretty much it. Like, I don't want to be involved, like, your fight. But that's all.
Freeze. Notice that right there, family. Notice that. Y'all see what he was doing, right? He comes in there disingenuous, and we've seen the tethers 1,000 times. See, they understand, fam. We know exactly what we're talking about. I want y'all to notice, he comes in and he starts saying how we need to, I think he said, vote for the Black Caucus. And then when we checked him, he said, no, vote him out. I said, all right, cool, fine, nice. Then right after that, fam, I said, why are you here? He said, I'm here for support. And I'm like, well, we don't need your support. What are you really here for? Then he said, feedback. And I said, well, feedback ain't support. Support is saying, do what you do, and I go along with it. See, all these people claiming false support, that right there is someone who's lying. Support means be quiet and just support. You don't have to talk to me if you're supporting me. All you got to do is say, oh, Alpha doing that, I'm going to support you. Oh, Alpha doing that, I'll support you. FBA's doing this, I got him. So the thing he tried to do with me is that he started trying to talk about support and all these things. And I said, that's not support, that's feedback. You made a suggestion. A suggestion is basically saying, do as I say. All right. And you ain't going to do as I say, because this FBA and I say so. And I put the FBA and I say so flag down to let him know. And then he started to, when I said, you got a bunch of Black Americans in here listening. There's a lot of Black Americans listening. And now you in that spotlight. My sisters down here going to want to know that babble you talking about. My brothers want to know about that babble you talking about. And that's when he started to fold and shake all the way up. And this is a Somali Canadian who, by the way, wouldn't even tell me where he was from. It took him 2 minutes to even answer that. Watch the rest, fam. Black Alpha just got to the point where I said, okay, let's start some checking.
Okay.
Tell me, say right now, I need you to say, I apologize to you, foundational Black Americans.
I apologize to you, foundational Black Americans,
for being in your business when I shouldn't.
For being involved in your business where I shouldn't.
All right, there you go. The lesson learned. Now you're out the door.
There you go, family.
I don't want to be involved, like, your fight. But that's all I can.
Okay, say right now, I need you to say, I apologize to you, foundational Black Americans.
I apologize to you, foundational Black Americans,
for being in your business when I shouldn't.
For being involved in your business where I shouldn't.
All right, there you go. The lesson learned. Now you're out the door.
Easy work. That's how you handle it, family. That's the way you run. I made that man apologize. I said right now, apologize for being in our business when you ain't got no goddamn business. And he said, I apologize for being in your business when I had nothing to do. I thought it was jerk chicken. It was really a space. I had no idea. The fufu ran out. I sorry. Yep. And your ass sorry off my stage. That's the way we handling it, y'all. I think I might be one of the first people to ever get a goddamn apology from a tether. And he knew what time it was. He knew. And that is the difference between the way we've been functioning now as before. And y'all know, I've seen some people saying, let me make this clear. I've been wanting to address this, fam. Whenever I post these, I always see somebody saying, let him talk, Alpha. You're cutting him off. No. See, we've been letting them talk for 500 years. That's the damn problem. You're letting people talk too much. And every time they talk, they ain't saying nothing. Now, you may have another 500 years to let people just talk. My certified brothers and sisters, we done hearing them talk. Now it's about us and what we say and what we do. I'm FBA and I say so. So all the people running around always saying, well, let them talk and let them speak. If you haven't identified what a tether is saying in the first 1 minute, you need to step up your tether detector If you ain't heard of Democratic Shield, you need to step up your Democratic Shield detector. Your supremacist, your Mayo radar is broken. You need to go ahead and replace the batteries, because I know for a fact the energy they're coming on within the first few minutes. You done heard it all. They're going to come in there and they're going to say, I love y'all. I love y'all, fam. Right now, real quick. Whenever you have a supremacist come into one of our space, what's the first thing they say? They say, I love you. Why do they tell us that they love us? Why do they say that? What is the reason why the first thing to come out their mouth is, hey, I just want to say my name is Becky and I really love you guys. You reparations generation. I'm so in love with all of you guys. What is she really trying to say? What's her real point of throwing out love? Is that misdirection? Does Becky from the dominant society, the supremacist society, the mother of supremacists, does she really love black folks? Or is all of that just talk so she can get us to drop our guard? Absolutely. I see y'all. Absolutely. That's what it is. When the Tether comes in and says, no more talk. Shout out to Willie D. When they come in there and they start hitting us with the, I just want to say I like what you are doing. What does that really mean? That means that they ain't really there for that. They always come at foundational Black Americans with a falsified smile. They always come at foundational Black Americans with some type of love and affection. That is so we drop our guards and get into what? That is so that we drop our guards and we get into our feelings. And we just sat here and had a whole thing about how we're not emotional. That is them trying to appeal to our feelings. And we're not people who are basing things off of feelings no more. They don't have to like it. They don't have to accept it. But that's exactly the way it's going to be. The feeling days are over. Fam, the very fact, what I always say, look what supremacy does, and then you got your answer. If they come into space saying that they love us so much, they're used to dealing with the emotional Negro. They can control him. If they come into the space, say, hey, we all black brother, I'm not like everyone in my community. That means that they're trying to appeal to your emotion, the emotional Negro. The emotional Negro's gone. Hey, let everybody know. All the emotional Negroes, they've been deported. Foundational Black Americans ain't on none of that. This is business. And I understand this. I'm going to play the emotional game. We're going to get infiltrated and my babies won't get reparations. Or I'm going to play the G-checking. I'm FBA and I say so. And whatever the hell I say goes. And my family going to get all them goddamn dollars. I'll take what's behind door. I'm FBA and I say so. Whether they do or not. And there you go. This is what they're really afraid of right here. Let me show y'all this. That right there is a Jamaican who's getting arrested. And this is on Deportation News. This is the Jamaican national who's getting snatched up. And this is why they're mad. And they will stay mad because no matter what they come up with, no matter how they try to play this game and this hustle or whatever they want, foundational Black Americans see through it all. So it all boils down to that right there, family. They know that they got to go home. Their homelands is calling. The homeland said, where you been, Mr. Jerk Chicken? Mr. Jerk Chicken, we've been looking for you. And I said, don't worry, we have detained him. You've been detained to go along with your jerk chicken. So we don't really have to worry about what they have been saying. We don't have to worry about what they've been speaking. They can go home at any time. We can call ICE at any time. And that creates all the separation that we need. And all the separation that we need is the thing that makes them flee. And you can't get FBA to leave because we've been standing on that certified foundational Black American business. And that certified foundational Black American business is ever so lovely. Yes, the goddamn hell it is. So take that all the way to the bank and just know, family, that when I say that we are moving strong and we are moving on one accord, that's exactly what we're doing. We're moving strong and on one accord. Look at that. He got them handcuffs. That man all cuffed up, ain't he? That man all cuffed up and don't know what to do with them cuffs. That's okay, though, because the more and more that they talk about FBA and the more and more they stand in FBA's way, the more and more they're getting locked up. And the fact that they got them cuffs out and the fact that ICE is coming calling, that's the mere fact, family, that foundational Black Americans, we have won. And we're going to keep on winning because that's the FBA way. And I wouldn't change it for a thing, y'all. Wouldn't change it for a thing. And that brings me to this. Foundational Black Americans have always been right here in the United States of America. Yes, we have. Foundational Black Americans have always been the originators. You can't have two originators. You got one. Well, they've been running around here for the longest amount of time trying to give us these people that aren't the original people. They've been running around here creating identity theft. Y'all know when I say the OT is the original tether, right? Well, they've had these original tethers that have been running around here, and they were real loud years ago. Oh man, you heard them everywhere. You turned around. These folks was talking reckless about foundational Black Americans. They wanted our spot. They wanted everything that we created. Now what you're seeing is that them same people, they're not making as much noise as they used to. No. You don't hear them as much. Have you noticed that the delineation process has Mr. Jamaican man with them cuffs on, going back to Mr. Jamaican land? Have you noticed that it's got all the Wakanda ends, Wakandaing back home? And have you noticed that you ain't heard much from the $1, $2, $5, $4, $3 Indians? Y'all notice that, family? Notice that it's got very quiet on that front. And let me tell you why. Now what you're seeing, since we have been in our delineation process, now it's getting to the point where all of those other people that were running around here, taking our identity by the research and delineation and separation and having a lineage-based movement, we have got all the facts on the table. Taking what grandma told us, we got the facts on the table. So by reclaiming who we are as an identity, family, now everybody is shook. Everybody. See, they was running around here saying that they were the natives. Now we said, no, that's us. They was running around here saying they were indigenous. No, we said, no, that's us. See, delineation brings to us a lot of power. Identification does too. The main thing it does, it stops a lot of people who've been running around thinking that was all about them. Yeah, those groups that have been running around here thinking it's all about them, now they found out the hard way that it never was. So by us representing and identifying our community, oh man, we got them people shook. And when I say that these people are shook, I got to show the family, y'all. Y'all look at this right here. Y'all look at this right here. They said that there's this viral TikTok battle going on, right? Nah, what it really is that you're starting to see original tether tantrums because they've been running around here taking the identity of the original foundational Black Americans, and no longer can they. Y'all watch this.
You're Native American and you want to put these fake Native Americans, these pretendians, these wabos behind bars or get them fined, hit me up.
Days in 2025, you got all these mulattoes, all these light-skinned African Americans saying that they're Indians because, oh, we look like the pictures. Yeah, no duh. The white in you lightened you up.
There's this whole pretending thing going around to where FBA would like harass Native Americans, but whatever they do not call them African American. They do not even identify as African at all. So whatever they do, call them whatever they want to be called. Don't say African American. They don't represent us. I know being harassed for your culture can be very sensitive, but like for you to come for the whole African American community for what the FBA group is doing to you is also stupid.
I'm so tired of seeing all these African claiming they're full-blooded indigenous and they're the rightful owners of this land. Well, let me tell you, y'all are wrong, y'all stupid, y'all ignorant, y'all don't know history. You might be mixed, and I'm not talking to the mixed.
If you're Native American and you
Oh, buddy. Oh, it's on now. Oh, it's on, family. Y'all go ahead right now and get ready for this one. Family, these people are crashing all the way out. All of those years about who the original people were have come to an end. And the real original Native, Indigenous, foundational Black Americans have reclaimed our throne. See, when we start talking about reparations, we start talking about our lineage, heritage, and culture. We start talking about that we've been here since day one. When we start talking about grandma, grandpa's stories, the world didn't want to hear that at the time because they were saying, oh, no, it's really Tonto. And he came over the Barren Straits. So what our brothers and sisters did, they all did a little, so we all did a lot. We started doing some lineage checking. And by the fact that us being lineage strong, that has solved 50 cases in one. We solved the economic problems, the social problems. We also solved the historic problems. And we have identified what we've already known. Now the world sees it. Foundational Black Americans have always been the originators in the United States. Foundational Black Americans are the ones who built this country. See, when we say we built this country, people start looking and saying, well, how'd y'all build it? I thought it was Tonto. Well, Tonto didn't build nothing. So if he ain't build nothing, then that means that he wasn't here. And if he wasn't here, then how do you explain all these people who were here? Oh, those were us. Those were us. So now, family, the chickens done came home to roost. And the world knows that foundational Black Americans are the originators. So you think it's a coincidence that now you're getting all of these quote unquote $5 and $2 and tontos popping up, having crash outs on TikTok? You think it's a coincidence or an accident that all this is happening right now in the delineation era? No. Again, these people weren't talking during the African American. These people weren't talking during the Yes We Can. These people are all crashing out now because we're winning. Everybody you see who's crashing out, which is everyone, they're all crashing out coincidentally when the reparations generation showed up. So what does that tell you? You're only crashing out because you're losing. So i.e. de facto is that the reparations generation showed up, we started winning, everybody else started losing, and now they're having a hell of a hard time. So they've been running around here left and right, throwing around these terms, and they're mad. Look at this right here. Let me show y'all. Do y'all know this is what they be having? Look at this, fam. Y'all look at this. Look at this right here. This is something they've been circulating, you guys. Look at this. Look at this disrespect. The Wabo action figure. The Wabo means the wannabe original. This is what they've been saying about foundational Black Americans, family. Oh, they've been having whole videos, whole breakdowns, mad as hell, cursing each other out, trying to call ICE, trying to report people. You can't call ICE on the people who built the country, bruh. Hell nah. You can't call ICE on the people who are the originals. Hell nah. Where is this all coming from? This is coming from a place of desperation, meaning everything that you received based off the shoulders of my ancestors, it ain't yours no more. They can't reap the benefits for what we've done anymore. So the fact that they're out here now saying, I'm tired of y'all. Y'all, man, y'all just mixed now, and y'all been running around here stealing all stuff. Y'all harassing me. That lets you know what it is. And let me tell you something. In essence, brothers and sisters have broke it down. Man, let me tell you, first off, let me say this, okay? Let me say this. So, certified salute and shout out to all the brothers and sisters who've been out there doing that real indigenous work. Because we got brothers and sisters in every aspect of our community. That aspect of our community been extra solid. And they've been out here pulling out extra receipts. And I'm going to show y'all what has been happening. It's bigger than just ICE getting called. It's bigger than just we the originals. Family, let me tell you, these people are losing their indigenous status. They're losing their tribal cards. They're getting ran up on and detained by ICE. And Donald Trump and his administration, I believe, is going to strip them away. And now it's going to be concrete that they were never the originals. Fam, it's way deeper than what people thought it was. It's way deeper. And it all goes back to our brothers and sisters who've been out here riding and putting that flag and stamp on the real indigenous foundational Black Americans. Y'all look at some of this right here, family. I'm telling y'all. I thought in the beginning it was just, y'all not the originals. ICE gonna get called. Family, they pulling out people's paperwork. They snatching people up. They taking away the indigenous status and tribal status of a hell of a lot of these people. And they mad. So all the temper tantrums and all the breakdowns, it's all the result of our brothers and sisters who've been saying, Grandma was right the whole time. Don't be mad. Check it out.
American Indians versus the Native Americans. Let's end this debate for once and for all. American Indians previously enslaved were freed in 1865 and given birthright citizenship. Okay, now let's look at this article that I have pulled up. On June 2nd, 1924, Congress enacted the Indian Citizenship Act, which granted citizenship to all Native Americans born in the United States. We are two completely different people. We have birthright citizenship. You do not. You are native to the continent of America, but you are not indigenous to the American land that is now governed by the United States. And you did not receive your citizenship until 1924. We, the so-called Black people, the indigenous nation of America, received our birthright citizenship in 1865. So how could we want to be someone who don't have nothing? We don't want to be you. We want the respect that we earned and deserve. And it will be given to us. American Indians versus the Native Americans.
Here it goes all the way back around again, y'all. Listen to that. That sounds like I'm FBA and I say so. I'm just saying. That sounds like I'm foundational Black American and we've been that, fam. We have taken back our identity. The identity theft, the stealing ain't happening. You got to remember, the same way that Joe Biden was trying to say illegals built America, that's giving our identity to somebody else. And they were given our identity years ago. Everyone knows that they were never the originators. We knew it. Christopher Columbus knew it. The original settlers knew it. But the same thing that they do with tethers today is the same thing they did with tethers then. You got to go back in time and you got to analyze it the way we do. The perspectives change, but the tactics never do. They had an answer. They said, look at all these maroons who are out here putting in work. What if we gave the identity of the maroon to the mongoloid? So we can go from the maroon rider to the mongoloid subservient. And then they made a shift. The same way they said, how can we take the freedman and give it to the fleer? Switch. They did the same exact thing years ago, and now we've exposed it where they can't hide it no more. The reason why you ain't been hearing about Tonto, you ain't been hearing about Pocahontas. Only time you hear them is when they're on the internet getting mad at us. There's been this frenzy from their community every week having a TikTok tether tantrum because they know that whatever they had is leaving. They don't like they had a grip on our identity and it's slipping away. They don't like the fact that they had a grip on our culture and it slipped away. They like running around here claiming that they were the ones who were the spiritual ones. That's us. They like running around here saying they're the ones who built America. That's us. And now they didn't expect, like nobody, this reparations generation to show up and say, oh yeah, all that indigenous, native, foundational identification, give it back. It's ours. And damn it, it's right where it belongs, fam. I told you, everything is being reclaimed. Let me tell you how much is being reclaimed. I am so proud of this young sister right here. I don't know who she is. Shout out to her. I tell people every time that the babies are listening. And when I say the babies is listening, family, you would never have gotten a young sister like this talking the way she's about to talk a few years ago. You would have got hope, cope, wish, what. This is why Black folks was running around here back in the day saying, y'all know we the originals, right? And you know how I said everything that we talked about in our household is meeting the world? Look at this sister right here, family. She breaks it down. I don't know who you are, sister. Certified salute to you. This is a baby right here, a young woman. And watch the way she breaks down what we've already broke down about how Black Americans are the originals. Check, mug, and mate.
So are y'all seeing the thing that's going around with the Native Americans versus the Black Indigenous Americans? Ooh, this gonna be one for the books. So I recently stumbled across a video about Black Indigenous Americans basically stating that the Native Americans are taking them to court because they basically trying to do a cease and desist or sue them in a way. So here's the issue that Black Americans are having with the Native people, according to what I've been told by actual Indigenous Americans. Black Americans or Black Indigenous Americans have came up with the evidence and proved that they're actually, or most Black people are actually Indigenous American. Some of us not African American. So basically, they said that they want to take them to court to sue them, and someone told me they was like, we got all our receipts. We was waiting on this moment because so basically the Black community is arguing.
Family, listen to what she said. Listen, when all them folks said, we're going to take the Black Americans to court. And listen what they said. They said the Black folks said, oh, good. We've been waiting on this. We got all our receipts. Listen to what she just said right there. She said, all them folks saying they was going to take us to court. The Black Americans who've been doing the research like we have, what grandma told us, we said we've been waiting for this moment our whole life. I'll see you in court. Don't be late. We got all the damn receipts. They made the wrong mistake and messed with the wrong lineage.
So basically, they said that they want to take them to court to sue them, and someone told me they was like, we got all our receipts. We was waiting on this moment because so basically the Black community is arguing, or some of the Black community is arguing that the Native Americans are being paid off by the government to occupy lands that actually belong to us. Well, I can't say us because I don't know, but I'm just saying us as in Black people or whoever specifically. You know who you are. So basically, they were the people. Now remember, as far as I know, back when I learned in elementary school, at least from my teacher, that Native Americans do get reparations. That's what we was told. But now that all this is coming out, I'm starting to think, is it reparations or is it them being paid off? They think it's reparations, but they don't know it was actually like I can't say a covenant, but like an agreement between their ancestors and the American government to occupy that land and act as if they're Native American.
Oh, hold up. Hell no. That's too hot to leave it right there. Damn, let me tell you something. First off, the young sister doing the thing, fam, and she's a product of this generation, okay? We ain't been running around here hoping to cope, and we've been teaching the young folks what it is. You heard what she said right there? You heard what she said? See, we so thorough with our game is now brothers and sisters is looking at the reparations that they received. Why did they get those reparations? You ain't lying, brother. Some damn invoices. Absolutely. Why did they get those reparations, fam? Why? Anytime the dominant society does something generous for somebody else, there's a catch in it. What's that catch? It's always to harm us. You think the dominant society does something generous like putting somebody in a luxury hotel who's not even a citizen? They did that to spite us. You think the dominant society gives somebody an EBT card with thousands of dollars for free who's not even a citizen? They did that to spite us. The dominant society only does generous actions to spite or undercut foundational Black Americans. I take you to Tonto. The reason why they got their reparations is solely because that was their deal. When the identity theft took place and the hands were shook, they said, we will pay you to perpetrate the fraud that you are the Black Americans. And we will give you reparations in the process. It does two things. Reparations, one, is a deal that gets those people on their feet. And then reparations also makes it look like we're admitting what we done. See, you never really done nothing to them. You did it to us. And the fact that they did it to us and paid them, that shows you that Tonto is the original Tether. It shows you that this generation is regulating and getting to the facts, and it shows you that all the receipts about who the real indigenous people are on the table. Shout out to this young sister right here because she takes it even further. Family, this right here is what you get when your generation and your culture is on code. Even the young folks drop receipts.
Based off like the information that I've seen and the things that I researched, that's what it sounds like. Now, on one of my videos, I did have an Indigenous American did comment and tell me like, hey, this is true. We are actually the Native Americans and we're fighting with them over our name and title and our culture and our people. She told me that she's like a direct descendant of the Blackfoot Indians who was here before everyone else. And if I'm not mistaken, she told me that her grandparents walked the Trail of Tears and they are dark-skinned people. And I've seen numerous of Indigenous Black people saying the same exact thing. Now, if you pay attention, we don't get reparations, but they get reparations. So how come? When we're the ones who actually built the country. Now, if you pay attention to Christopher Columbus' letter, basically when he first discovered the land, remember, he came here twice, but the first time he came here, he did say that he met Black people that looked like African natives in a way. They were very dark-skinned people. They gave him gifts, this, that, and the third, whatever. I read that article like about 2 years ago, child. My mind is still scrambling. Not only that, I did see a couple of like creativity that like some art pieces that I've recently seen when it came to Indigenous Americans, they do have our features. The big lips, the big nose, the fat head, yeah. And they were ancient pieces that are very old. It's not nothing new. And like I said before in his letter, he did describe seeing those people before he came back the second time. Now, allegedly, what they did tell us was that when they got back, that there were Indians here, this, that, and the third. But what the Indigenous tribe is believing is that they're arguing that the Native Americans, I quote, because we don't know, that's what all this is about, ancestors have been paid off to occupy that land. And I did hear numerous of people, even people who taught Black history, I've heard numerous of them state that Indians help slave owners catch slaves. They actually help the white Americans or the colonizers capture Black people, Black slaves, especially African slaves. So
this a young sister, y'all. This a young sister. Times is turning, new generation, y'all. Let's go.
My thing is, if they are the people who walk the Trail of Tears, and if they were really done wrong by the government, why would they help the government catch other slaves? Why would they help the government by buying slaves and keeping their own slaves? So are y'all seeing the thing that's going around with the Native American?
Okay. Even the young person puts it together. There you go, fam. Oh, it's on. Oh, it's so on. Look at that. First off, shout out to that sister. Certified salute from Black Alpha. Keep doing your thing. You see how the young folks is putting it all together? Like we already put it together, just now the world's hearing it. She even was putting that together at a young age saying, well, wait a minute now. Y'all were out here enslaving black folks, harming black folks, and catching black folks in the name of the dominant society. That sounds like that was a part of your reparations package. See, all those reparations that they got, that wasn't because of the atrocities they faced. That because of the deal they cut. They cut the deal of identity theft so they can undercut foundational Black Americans. They cut the deal to undercut our lineage. That's what it was about. And you can see right there, yep, Catch a Freedman, good one right there. Trail of Tears were foundational Black Americans. We have known this forever. The biggest secret in the United States of America has been that Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are the indigenous, and that those other people came here way after, way later, and the dominant society gave them our identity, put it in all their little textbooks, and let all their little Becky first grade teachers tell us that lie. Until now, where the brothers and sisters who are young and old, from the east and the west, from the north and the south, we all got together and said, nope, it ain't going down like that. And if you heard what our sister said, all of them chirping and all of those tontos having the meltdowns, getting mad at us, all the black folks said, good. Come and see us in court. We've been waiting for this for years. We got receipts, and we've been dropping them receipts, and it gets worse, fam. If they think that right there was bad, wait until the next ones I showed you. Family, we got all the receipts because it's what we've already known. They don't want to play this game with us. They don't want to play this game with us. They really don't. Because if they want to play this game with foundational Black Americans, let me tell y'all, they playing this game when it come to grandma, when it come to grandpa. They know what it is. They know. When I sat here and I talked to Cornel West about a year and a half ago, I had to check Cornel West because it got a little real when I started hearing him try to spin it off into the natives. I said, we need reparations. He said, don't forget about the natives. I said, I don't talk about the natives. The natives are us. I said, they end up getting reservations. They end up getting luxuries and benefits based on our identity. They stole our identity. It was given to them. He said, well, who are you right now, Black Alpha? I said, damn right I'm right. You damn right I'm right. They ended up getting all of that based on our lineage. And I had to check them and let them know that grandma was right. That was my exact words. I said, grandma wasn't lying. Grandpa wasn't lying. Now, you may be a great, 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 great grandpa who's out here great, 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 great caping for Tonto. I'm not. I'm letting it be known. What grandma said is winning today. What grandma told us is the facts. And now all the receipts that grandma passed down to us, that her grandma passed down to her, that we are the natives and the originals, the whole goddamn world got to deal with it. And we'll check anybody who get in the way. Bring whatever receipts. You mean to tell me, family, right here that I'm about to show you, you mean to tell me that this ain't an original Black American? Fam, don't let these people come at us funny style. Don't let these people come at us funny style. They don't know who they dealing with. They don't know who they dealing with. They dealing with a whole different breed. I know you've been running around here getting things for free. I know that reparations packet that you got was based on the fact of you stealing from foundational Black Americans and going to catch us and run up on us. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is, but not anymore. Not anymore. Look at this, family. This is what they didn't ever want out there. This is what they didn't really want to show us. They've been hiding this. They've been hiding this from us, fam. We've been new. This ain't nothing new to foundational Black Americans. This is the history that we've all seen. And then you got to ask yourself this question. If we have discovered that the Trail of Tears was really the people who ended up becoming the Black Wall Street individuals, the Black Wall Street citizens, then why did they go to Black Wall Street and make sure they took care of that, family? I'm going to tell you why. It's because they had to tie up loose ends. Yeah. Yep. Let's not forget about, it ain't Black Wall. You can talk about Geechee. Where we want to go is everywhere. It's the whole lineage. It's the whole lineage, fam. This is us. It ain't kind of us. It's not regionally based. This is what happens when you are the original people of the United States of America. So when we know that all of those people ended up becoming the recipients of the reparations, they got that reparations money based on the deal that they stole, the deal that they got. They understood that, fam. Let me show y'all. This is what I see. When I see this picture right here, let me pull this back up. There you go. When I see this picture right here, I'm about to show y'all. What is that right there, family? That right there is Black Wall Street. Why is that Black Wall Street, fam? Because they understood that we got to go ahead and not only tear that down because Black folks is winning, we also got to tear that down because that's got too many facts in it. See, those people ended up leaving that Trail of Tears and they ended up making something of themselves. We got to hide that info. We got to make sure that information is gone. Why are we going to have that out there? Because maybe one day some Black Americans are going to come out, and then Black Americans is going to find out that they're the real descendants. And if we find out that, then oh, hell no. That right there was a cover-up. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to Tulsa, family. That was nothing more than a cover-up. That was a cover-up for the dominant society to go ahead and take that off the hands because they knew eventually we was going to start looking. And guess what, family? We didn't have to look because it was already there. We didn't have to search because it was already here. We didn't have to do none of that. Only thing we had to do was just be our FBA selves and show up. See, they think that foundational Black Americans had to turn over leaves and find things out. Family, we didn't have to do any of this because, again, these stories have been with us forever. These stories have been with the foundational Black American culture for the longest amount of time. So we didn't have to do anything other than be our exceptional selves, and the truth came to us. That's what it is. So I believe what the whole family knows is that these people are having meltdowns and breakdowns based on the fact that they have lost this indigenous status, and it's slipping away that the world does not perceive them as us anymore. When you're not perceived as a family, can we say that this is the biggest cover-up in American history and world history? Maybe you can make the case. The cover-up on who the original foundational Black American, the original Americans are, it being us and someone else just taking it. Fam, think about it. They just gave it to them. They were just like, here. They know damn well. Remember when Joe Biden went over to Africa and he said slavery is the biggest sin, and the Africans just shook his hand and said, yep, going back to Tether Fatigue. These people have no problem stealing from us. Tonto knew that he wasn't the original, okay? Pocahontas knew she wasn't the original, and they still ran around here and perpetrated that fraud. And the dominant society said, here's a reparations check for all the identity theft that we gave you from foundational Black Americans. Now you be a good little person and you put us on your little $5 Dawes Rolls and let us get some of that money. You think that, family? Oh, we connecting the dots today. We gonna bring to light what they didn't want to bring to light. So let's break it down. FBA are the originals. They seen that we some riders. They can go on down to the maroon swamps and find that out. They said, let's go get these perpetrators, give the perpetrators their identity. We'll cut them reparations money, and then we'll put ourselves on the Dawes Rolls so we can still in return get that money. And then eventually we will have access to all of their plantations and all of their reservations. And then we can have what foundational Black Americans really created. You see the elaborate plot, family, that spun it all the way back around, and boom, there you go. There you go. Identity theft 101. And that is why they're having meltdowns, because the reparations money, they squandered it. They drank it all up. And now the identity theft and the characteristics of being us is gone. So now what they got, family, what they got, it was all a plan. Family, let me tell you about the dominant society and the system of supremacy. They operate very smoothly with a lot of trickery. All right. They understood that when it come down to a rider community and it come down to a docile community, they're going to take the docile community every day and twice on Sunday. They didn't never want the Maroons to do that. Let me tell you something, fam. Us being the original Americans, again, back to what we've been saying, that's too much power for one lineage to have. They don't want us to be Americans today. You think they want us to be identified and represented as the original Americans? You got to know this. If we're seen as the original Americans, do you know the power that come along with that? That rewrites all of their history. And it goes back to them saying, we got to change it. We got to flip the script. So proceeding to where they go, fam, check this out now. This even takes it further. They're now having some issues with the money that they received. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Let's go there. It's bigger than just ICE. It's bigger than deportation. It's bigger than just identity theft. We have identified ourselves to the maximum. We have delineated to the point where now they're getting looked at of, are you really a part of that tribe? Their tribal cards and their tribal allegiances are being stripped away now. Now they're having meltdowns, not just because FBA has socially reclaimed our identity. Now their paperwork is in question. We've made the whole planet Earth go like this and look at them and say, are y'all the real people? Maybe y'all not who y'all say y'all was. Damn right. Watch this right here, family. Oh, you're going to love this, fam. Everybody in here, smash that like button. Smash that like button. We cooking. Watch this right here, family. I'm going to tie this all in to birthright citizenship. And this is a story that's been going on underneath the nose of a lot of people, but not right here in Certified. Notice this story didn't get the coverage, but there's been a lot going on with these people getting their identity stripped, not just with us, but their paperwork. Watch this.
Executive order getting rid of birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment clearly states that any persons born in the U.S. and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. So they said the Indians who are not taxed are not citizens of the United States. Okay, so what is an Indian not taxed? An Indian not taxed is living on reservations under the care of government agents, or roaming individually or in bands over unsettled fractions of the country, right? Okay, so then it goes on and it separates and it says Indians not in tribal relations, whether full blood or half-bred, who are found mingled with population residing in white families, engaged as servants or laborers, or living in huts on the outskirts of towns, are regarded as the ordinary population of this country. So that didn't include them. It said the Indians that are.
Oh, hold up. Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait one damn minute. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Look right here. Look, family. They done came into the chat now, fam. Look at that. Sir, why are you being delusional? You're African. Nope. I'm foundational. Black American. And you are Siberian. And it's all good. Be yourself. Y'all see they coming now. What we say? It's like clockwork. On time, family. You see what I'm saying? We done got them a little triggered and a little shook now. Now I was saying it. Now I'm proving it. And we're showing it. And they're displaying it. You see, fam. They in here real mad now. Why? I'm saying, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be mad that we are who we are. Don't be mad that our identity is ours. The thing you should do is don't hate, congratulate. Congratulate us for being foundational Black Americans and building this country. You had it for a little bit. Now it's our time to take it back. That's how life works. You know what I'm saying? It spins around. I'm sure there's another place that you could tether on to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure up there in Siberia, there's a great place. You can go back up there and reclaim your stuff. Why are you mad that we reclaiming our stuff? You need to quit worrying about us reclaiming ours and reclaim yours. And then everybody be happy. Because I'm happy. We're happy. My grandma's happy. She was right. My brothers is happy. My sisters is happy. I mean, goddamn. Don't waste our time and be mad. You need to be glad. Okay? This shows you right now, family, what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, all that I just said, and then on top of that, because I'm FBA and I say so. Don't be mad. It's going to be all gravy, baby. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Louisiana. Here we go. Watch Mo as the sister cooks.
Not text. Who are they? Who are the ordinary population of this country? That's us. Because isn't it weird that this article says excluding Indians, Trump admin questions Native Americans' birthright citizenship in court? Why did he separate Native Americans and Indians? Because the Native Americans are planted, they're characters. They're playing a role. They were brought over here by Siberia. We were the Indians. I mean, we didn't call ourselves the Indians. That's just what Columbus called us when he was brought over here by the Moors. But he didn't discover us. We were already here. We are Aboriginal to this land. And if you need any more proof, you go further down in North America from Mexico to Panama. They're all are Black. The Mayans are Black. And the Native Americans are getting deported and they're talking about having to carry around their ID card. Why do they have to carry around that ID card to identify themselves? Wouldn't the government be able to identify their own Native people? Make that make sense. Okay.
Woo, buddy,
Executive order getting rid of birthright citizenship.
I didn't think that we would have any trolls in the chat. I'll be damned. Boy, we in here deep. Everybody smash that like button, family. 1.4K all day. ABK, FBA. Here we go, family. That's what it is. Now, since Carmi and whoever was getting mad, you know, I don't think that you should be mad at us. I think you should be mad at what's happening. Because remember, all we did was just speak the truth to reality. That's all we did. We're not the ones stripping you of all of that questionable, skeptical background. That's the U.S. government. That's basically what was done wrong is being done right. I'm just saying, and I'm a concerned foundational Black American, a taxpayer. So when you look at all of that right there, family, and you add all of that up, and you can basically see exactly what we've been saying. Y'all notice one thing? Have you noticed, fam? Every single thing that we were told as children is reigning supreme, and the things that they are told as children isn't really hitting and not really landing like that. I'm just saying. But if you want to see more truth and more evidence, y'all look at this right here. They're having some real issues over there on that side of town, and it ain't got nothing to do with us. Yes, the truth hurt. The truth hurt, and we put in work. Y'all look at this video right here. Shout out to Donald Trump, by the way. Make America foundationally Black American Indigenous again. Here we go. Watch this video, family.
But she's not.
It's called karma.
What stings the most is the feeling of being stripped of her identity.
It's a direct attack on who I am. Technically, on paper, I'm not Native.
Santana Rabang and her grandfather Robert Rabang were also disenrolled. Santana now lives in Lumi, the tribe where her mother is from. But she's not a member of Lumi either because she doesn't meet blood quantum requirements there. Blood quantum was imposed by the U.S. government in the early 1900s as a means to define and limit citizenship within Indian tribes. It's still being used today to measure the amount of tribal blood in a person's ancestry.
Blood quantum isn't how we identify as Indigenous. It's my connection to the land and the knowledge that I carry. It's not the amount of blood that I have in me. It's the fact that it's there and lives through me is all that matters to me. But I'm not enrolled anywhere.
This neighborhood is where Santana grew up learning Nooksack traditions.
Oh, my grandchildren.
And since Robert is no longer considered Nooksack, he's also facing eviction. He's fighting to stay to preserve his mother's legacy, the woman who was known for weaving baskets out of cedar.
It's been really stressful. It just hurts.
It's been really stressful and it just hurts. So they are being questioned about their actual identity? Oh my goodness. Ain't that crazy?
It's been really stressful. It just hurts.
Was known for weaving baskets out of cedar.
It's been really stressful. It just hurts. It's been really stressful. It just hurts. It just hurts.
But she's
damn. So what ended up happening with this lady? What ended up happening, family, is now the world is looking and they're questioning what is the real identity of a lot of these tribes. See, they try to put the spotlight on us, but in reality, it ended up going back to them. And all these people, these trolls can get mad, but it is what it is. Understand that. It's not the way it needed to be. It's the way it's going to be. So if you look at it and you observe it, fam, they're checking everybody's paperwork. Fam, can we be real? There's a paperwork check going on with a lot of those natives. There's a paperwork check. And a lot of that paperwork isn't coming back good. That lady right there, they went and checked her blood quantum and they said, you don't qualify. And then her father, he didn't qualify. So now we got to ask the question, if all these people don't qualify, then what the hell have they been receiving benefits and luxuries for? Has the deal with the dominant society ran out? Did Donald Trump come out and say, nah, we're going to go ahead and stop that? When you seen the last sister break down how when you look at the paperwork, and you look at the tax Indians and the birthright citizenship, how a lot of them do not apply. And that's why the language was very precise. They said the taxed ones and the non-taxed ones. So in the language, it's identifying a lot of them ain't who they say they are. And foundational Black Americans are exactly who we say we are. And that's why the brothers and sisters said, we will go to court any day. We've been waiting. You don't want to go to court with foundational Black Americans. You better stay on TikTok, okay? And you're going to lose there too. So you just can't go no goddamn where, can you? It be TikTok, it be the courtroom, or it be anywhere. Them receipts about who the original indigenous natives are foundational Black Americans, and the world sees it now, and we loving it. Look at this right here. Furthermore evidence and furthermore proof, family. Oh, this is receipt number what? 567. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the receipt. Here we go. This further shows everybody what's been going on, why these people been having their little spats and their little beefs and their little problemos. Look how this sister shows this. This is further proof, family. They're coming up with something called mixed blood natives to create a new tribe after not meeting the blood quantum standards. I told everybody the United States government is checking the paperwork on all of these so-called native tribes, and they're not liking what they're seeing. Checkmate all day.
A so-called mixed blood tribe is being started by local Native American descendants. And KEZI 9 News reporter Stacey Kafka is here in the studio to tell us what both sides are saying about the controversy. Stacey?
The Lake family, who lives in Eugene, say each family member has a fraction of their blood that is Native American. But that fraction of blood is not large enough to be considered a member of their ancestral tribes. So they're starting their own tribe for people like them. A local family of mixed Native American descent is spreading awareness about their new tribe.
I have been told my whole life that I was Native American. Both my father and my mother are Native American.
Stop. All the trolls in the chat. You mean to tell me that that's a Native American? Really? That ain't nothing but Kenneth. Please. And by the way, how about you go have some smoke for all of those Kenneths, Karens, and Beckys who are the chiefs of your tribes instead of foundational Black Americans who are minding our business? Have y'all noticed that all the aggressions, all the vitriol and the smoke is always towards the Black folks who are just identifying our truth, our reality, and none of the smoke ever goes to all the Kenneths, the Karens, and the Kens who clearly don't have a drop of Indian in them, but they're the leaders of their tribes? Sounds like you like being next to your tribal zaddy. And foundational Black Americans point it out.
Together, I'm 1/8.
That 1/8 tribal blood doesn't allow Richard Lake III to be considered part of an ancestral tribe. The U.S. government uses what it calls blood quantum laws to decide whether a person is part of a specific tribe.
I always wanted to be a part of my American heritage. And without that recognition, my mother failed to become a tribal member, which left me out in the cold because I cared to.
But one Klamath tribe member says it takes more than a bit of Native American blood to be a part of a tribe.
The ancestral memories of that are generations after generations of a single people living together. Sure.
Listen what he said. Ancestral memories of people living forever together. That's funny, because when we've been saying that, they've been trying to call us wobbo. Ain't it funny, y'all? Remember all that? Y'all wobbos, man, wobbos. Nah, Now y'all trying to come up with your own tribe because Donald Trump done made you check that paperwork, and that paperwork is dirty as hell. Now they want to talk about what it's like to have ancestral memory. Now they want to talk about a heritage. Now they want to talk about the truth. When we was telling them that we were the original people for years, they got upset, mad, and angry. And now they're upset, mad, and angry because everything they said, it ain't added up. 2 + 2 is not 29.
Sharing memories and developing language.
And although the Lake family created a website, Declaration of Creation, and now has nearly 330 members throughout the country, local Native Americans say that does not make a tribe.
Otherwise, you belong to a cult or a club or...
Oh, so now, did y'all catch that? Tell me y'all caught that. Now their other tribe members are turning on them. Wow. The same way that they took that deal so they can be slave catchers against Black folks. Now look, they said, nope, you don't match the requirements, so you can't come in. Then they said, let's make our own group. And then all the other ones said, nope, you can't make your own group. You not like us. You not like us. Damn, did they just get you not like us by their fellow Tonto? Did Tonto and Pocahontas tell him he not like them? They said, you not like tribe. There you go. So damn, now they pointing the finger and blaming each other. Sounds like it's hard days around the reservation.
Local Native Americans say that does not make a tribe.
Otherwise, you belong to a cult or a club or an organization. And the tribes are more than just the blood. It's the shared common ancestral memory that we all have as a tribe.
Even though they're not recognized by the government or other tribes, the Una Mixed Blood Tribe thinks in 10 years, you'll be hearing a lot about them.
Our end goal is set up a reservation for our members to be able to live on or visit.
One local tribe member says he knows a number of people who do not have a high enough fraction of their blood to officially be members of the tribe. But these members are called descendants and learn the language, culture, and history of the tribe without being official members.
A so-called mixed blood tribe is being started by local Native.
There you go. Family, we have checked these people to the point where now they making up tribes. Did you ever think that you would get to the day, family, where they just said, damn, we got to make up a tribe. Let's be real and let's make this clear, okay? Crystal clear. Foundational Black Americans got on code. FBA stayed on point. We started checking everybody's paperwork. We started representing who we are in our lineage. We put it on Front Street. Now the whole damn world is looking at them and checking their paperwork and saying FBA was right. These people aren't who they say they were. So now you got mixed tribes and mixed blood. They're making rules up now because the old rules ain't working. Anytime somebody got to jump to the new rule, it's because somebody checked the old rule. That be us. And now they're dealing with the fact that every single thing that grandma said was absolutely correct. It feel good to serve your ancestors. You wonder why the ancestors putting in work? Maybe because we showed the ancestors that we removed everybody who was pretending to be them. So who the real pretendians, right? There you go. Check this out as we proceed to give everybody what they need, family. I told you the receipts was going to come, and I told you they was going to be serious. Check this out. More evidence and more facts have been provided, and this is what it is like when you're on code and when you're standing on business. Trolls don't mean nothing, can't say nothing. They got to come up with different tactics. Those ain't coming up with nothing strong, and everything is happening, family, coming up short. If you notice right here, in which I'm about to show y'all, this is clear as day what the brothers and the sisters were alluding to. And mind you, family, this is devastating to everything that they thought that they were going to have on us. Check this out. Here we go. Here we go. Now Trump's immigration raids target Native Americans. There you go. Now notice, family, the way that was told to us, they were basically running around here and saying, oh, they're just coming after them because they look like they're Mexican. Y'all remember that, right? Tell me y'all remember that. That's what the notion was. Oh, they're just coming after them because they look like they're Mexican. What we have found out now is that that's not the reason. This has been an orchestrated targeting of these tribes based on a lot of them not meeting the requirements and the classifications of who they say that they were. Donald Trump's not just coming after these people based on, oh, they think we all Mexican. That was the cute little thing that people was trying to say. Now we find out, family, it's way more detailed and it's way more serious than that. Donald Trump and his administration are checking their paperwork because FBA put them on Front Street. We exposed them. Donald Trump starts raiding them. It's as easy as that, family. This is why they really mad on TikTok. Oh, yeah. The TikTok anger done popped off serious. Look at this one right here, y'all. Shout out to the team. This is from one of their news organizations. They said they stressed that many tribe members struggle with documentation, which has worsened under the recent ICE sweeps. Despite possessing certificates of Indian blood and state-issued IDs, several individuals have been detained or questioned by ICE agents who do not recognize these documents as valid proof of citizenship. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. It don't get more real than us, family. Y'all smash that like button right now. We cooking. Our office remains dedicated to provide accurate information and to assist any and all Navajo citizens who get caught up in immigration issues. If you do run into issues with the federal immigration officials, reach out to our office. Family, you can't get more real than that right there. Damn, as you say in the chat, boy, we got a hell of a lot of them. Damn, paperwork done came back real dirty, ain't it? Now we're seeing that this isn't about Donald Trump sending ICE on these reservations because they've been harboring illegals. This is about a lot of them are illegals and their documentation ain't adding up based on the facts that they're not meeting their requirements, based on the facts that it does not compute based on the standards, and based on the facts that their legacy has been exposed as fraudulent. And this is why whenever they have something to do in terms of taking tests, they refuse to do it, because any test would go back and prove to everybody that it comes from Siberia and not here in America. Yes, indeed. I always told people, folks who take DNA tests and they say that it comes back Native American, no, because that blood ends up going back to Siberia. And I've actually seen footage of them saying it. These people are not indigenous to the United States of America. That's why their citizenship came in 1924. How can you be indigenous and get your citizenship in 1924? Foundational Black Americans was already out here building up whole atmospheres, whole climates, whole structures. We had already built the damn country 2 times. By the time they got their citizenship, we had already built America the first time, fought in every single war, including World War I, about to fight in World War II, reconstructed the country after the Civil War, sat back and had some damn lemonade on the porch in Mississippi, and then they got their citizenship. That sounds like a day late and a $1 show, a $5 show. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you that indigenous-wise, foundational Black Americans are the originators, and it also tells you that paperwork-wise, foundational Black Americans are the originators. Do you notice how everything that we're putting on the table is adding up, and everything that they've put on the table has not added up? And that is exactly why Donald Trump and his administration are coming after a lot of those reservations, because quite frankly, y'all, the Donald Trump administration does not believe that these people are true to who they say they were. And how many of you guys remember the infamous clip with Donald Trump years ago calling out the $5 Indians? Y'all remember that? Remember when Donald Trump was saying, these people don't look Indian to me? Y'all remember that, right? So Donald Trump's been on that type of time. He's been on that type of time. And now the time he's on, we've been on this certified generation. So it coincides. Frequencies, it all matches up. Look at this right here, family. You want to really talk that talk and you really want to speak the truth, family? Here's some truth for you. How about this one? You want to see a real indigenous descendant? Well, there you go right there. And all the Trail of Tears, that right there goes back to Black Wall Street. Shout out to this lovely, 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 lovely sister, okay? Okay? A real American, okay? A real American, a real indigenous American who put it all on the line for this country, okay? When this country was nothing, I'm talking about before anybody stepped foot, her people were out there on the grind. Her people were out there putting it down. And her people are our people. You can't tell us about who we are. See, we don't have an identity crisis. We don't steal anyone's identity. All we do every single day is wake up and be our foundational Black American selves and make sure that we represent it to the fullest. And the more we represent, family, the more they got to understand that foundational Black American paperwork is something that the world cannot deal with. And it's apparently got them shook. And there's more. Check this out right here, family. Oh, the receipt's coming, fam. I think we was on receipt number, I don't know, 100 last time. Now let's go ahead and look at receipt 101. Look at this. When I tell y'all it's getting real in the field, it's getting real. It's getting real. That paperwork ain't adding up. Check this out, y'all. They have done a lot more, and foundational Black Americans are always on the front line of everything. Check this receipt out. This is for the fam. Here you go.
America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper color races. Let's read this. A native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper color races found here by the Europeans. But what? But now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Baby, the fact that you think you remotely as brown as copper is just hilarious. Please stop making me laugh. Like, you think you look like her? This is the Copper Romance magazine, baby, in the 60s, baby. You think you look like us? Who want to be copper all of a sudden? Who want to be Aboriginals all of a sudden? Yeah, all right. Let's take a look at this definition one more again.
about ending birthright citizenship. How confident are you that the court will rule in your favor and allow that order to end birthright citizenship to go forward?
Well, you're just telling me that for the first time. I am so happy. I think the case has been so misunderstood. That case, birthright citizenship, is about slavery. If you look at the details of it, the signings of it, everything else, that case is all about slavery. And if you view it from that standpoint, people understand it. But for some reason, lawyers don't talk about it. The news doesn't talk about it. That's not about tourists coming in and touching a piece of sand and all of a sudden they're a citizenship. They're a citizen. That is all about slavery. And even look at the dates on which it was signed. It was right at that era, right after the Civil War. And if you look at it that way, the case is an easy case to win.
Look at the date that it was signed, family, and listen to the date that they ended up getting citizenship. You notice how it ain't nowhere near the same amount of time? Yeah. So when Trump was saying it's about slavery, oh, that need not to apply just to the people who are coming here illegally. That also applies to all of these other folks who've been trying to say that they're the originators when it's been us.
And I hope the lawyers talk about birthright, citizenship, and slavery, because that's what it was all about. And it was it was meant to be positive. And they use it now instead, not for slavery. They use it for people that come into our country and they walk in and all of a sudden they become citizens and they pay a lot of money to different cartels and others. It's all about slavery. And if you look at it that way, we should win that case. Okay.
Let's read this. A native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper color races found here.
There you go again and again and again. And all we do is win. There you go. Another one. Family. But it don't stop. It don't stop. I'm telling y'all, we going fast. We going fast. Appreciate that, family. I see you. We go faster than fast, fam. Look at this right here. More documentation. See, it's real easy, again, when we've been living this our whole lives. Family, it makes it real easy to understand and identify. Y'all look at this. I got y'all eyes working today, fam. Check this one out. More receipts. Because tonight on this broadcast, we putting the final stamp on this case. Walter Peckler was responsible for the reclassification of many Virginia Indians as colored under the Racial Integrity Act of 1924, which he enforced as the state's register of vital statistics. This reclassification erased the ethnic identity of numerous individuals and made it difficult for them to prove their Native American ancestry. There it is. Basically, they ended up running that reclassification game that they've ran on Black Americans how many damn times? And made it difficult for us to get our real Native, factual, true to life identity out there. And as this is occurring in 1924, what was right around the corner, family? Those other people getting their citizenship. You see how it's all an orchestrated plan. And then here comes reparations, and then here comes the $5 Indians, and then there goes the money going back to the dominant society. And when you blink, you wake up and Kenneth is the leader of their tribe. I'm just going to tell you this. Kenneth would never and has never been the leader of us. No, the hell he ain't. No, the hell he wouldn't. So you can see right there, that's the way they spun everything around so they can end up putting those people in position to get everything that they got. Boom, fam. There they go. So let's have it. It makes perfect sense. You got the original, okay? Not the second, third, because there's only one. You got the original Maroons, who were Rotters, who was giving them smoke. They said, we don't want that smoke. Let's go get those people over there that'll bow down. Then they took those people, gave them our identity. They started writing all those acts like that right there, 1924. Then they started giving them reservations and reparations. And then they made that deal. Those people actively worked for them. Remember this, family, not only were they capturing slaves, they were also the main ones who were out there harming people whenever they would come onto the plantation. Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this a long time ago. And then, to make that even more messed up, they were the ones who enslaved Black people. So you caught Black people, you enslaved Black people. They had to send down a regiment from the North all the way to the Midwest and the South after civil rights, or excuse me, after the Civil War, so they could take back what foundational Black Americans did. Family, who kept slaves longer than the Tonto Indian? Who did? They kept them so long that they actually had to send down a regiment and say, let these Black people go. They had to tell them, let the Black folks go, because if you left it up to Tonto, he wasn't going to let us go. They kept us as slaves, and it took the W man to tell them, oh, by the way, there was something called the Civil War, and it's over, and we're supposed to be freeing these Black folks, so y'all got to let them go. It took a mandate from the United States of American government to tell Tonto to let the slaves go. And then years later, they denied them access to all the reparations in which they received from the deal they cut to undercut what foundational Black Americans created. Think about it. Think about it. You took a deal so you can undercut us. You caught us doing work for the W. You fought on the side of the Confederacy. By the way, family, let's make it look like maybe they kind of knew that the Civil War is over, because remember, they fought in the Civil War. So did they know the Civil War was over? Yeah, they knew it was over, because they fought on the side of who? The Confederacy. So you fought on the side of the Confederacy, then you maintained slaves for years, and then you ended up taking what foundational Black Americans created and put it on yourself, and now you having TikTok meltdowns. That sounds like exactly a very strong case of ABK. When the universe dishes out consequences and repercussions for those who practice anti-Black racism. Sounds like a lot of that ABK came knocking on their door. And it sounds like them getting their paperwork snatched and it coming back filthy is nothing but a case of ABK. And it also shows that no matter what happens, the universe will spin around and it'll always go back to the rightful owner. So much that, family, you remember this guy right here, right? Y'all remember him? Well, guess what? He was running around here calling us Wabo left and right. Do you know now he's trying to say that he's half Black? Damn, FBA. Damn, foundationals. Do you got him trying to be a $5 FBA now? He went from a $2 Tonto to a $5 W to now he wants to be a $6 FBA. But a $6 ain't gonna make him holler. Watch this, fam. We have checked and exposed them to the point where now the same people who are on TikTok hating on FBA are now trying to claim FBA. ABK.
I don't think people have grasped the concept of who I am. I'm very proud to be 50% Apache and 50% African American. African American. African American. All right? Yes, I'm light skinned. So what? But I don't like Wabos. Wabos are African Americans who think they're Native American, right? So I have people from my Black side attacking people from my Native American side, trying to steal their identity. And like we have to keep repeating because y'all so slow, it's not all Black people. It's this cult, this Black supremacist cult. They don't like you African Americans. They don't like Africans. They don't like Native Americans. They don't like YT. They don't like anybody. I don't know. I don't even know who they like. They only like each other because no one likes them back either. I'm loyal to my Black side. Extremely loyal to my Black side. Extremely loyal to my Black side. Extremely loyal to my Black side. Proud to be 50% Apache and 50% African American and 50% African American.
Freeze, and you 100% a fraud. You ain't getting them damn reparations. They not going to you. Nice try. Family, is he trying to create a bridge? Is he trying to create a little bridge that he can jump over when things go all the way bad on the other side? That's what it looks like to me. So yeah. You see what they're doing now. He said, well, it's mean to my side, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, but I'm all Black American now. He's trying to get in on the FBA side because now he's indigenous hopping. That's what he's doing, y'all. He's native hopping. Wherever the natives are here, now he wants to be a part of it. Now he wants to get in on it. Now he's trying to claim us. Oh, you done messed that all the way up. You done messed that all the way up. That ain't never happening. You can't be a foundational Black American. It just ain't going down that way. It ain't going down that way. Never, not at all. So you can see now, family, we have exposed them to the point. Not only are they having meltdowns and breakdowns, now they're trying to claim us. We done made them go full circle. They was this, they was that, and now they say, you know what? We really FBAs now. Can we be y'all? Can we be y'all? I love half of my Black side. You ain't got a half of a zero. You know damn well you ain't no Black person, but you trying to get in on our lineage because you see that on the other side of the fence, don't look too good. It don't look too good on that other side. On that other side, it's starting to break down real fast. On that other side, y'all looking real bad. So the only thing left now is for these people to try to claim indigenous status as a Black person. Because based on the way they've been getting detained, the way they've been getting exposed, they can't claim it as a Tonto. Checkmate. And here's another one. Y'all look at this right here, man. Are we breaking all the rules and are we setting some records tonight? Damn right. You know the biggest thing that we did, family? The biggest thing? We ended up getting real geographical with our receipts. Let me tell you something about foundational Black Americans. We are verified, certified, bona fide, qualified, and we will get geographical with it. So not only did we expose them based on all of the acts that were in place, based on the $5 Indians, based on the fake reparations that they were receiving, we also exposed them in terms of what? The Bering Straits, and we talk about it all the time, don't we? Y'all look at this. Here we go. This was the biggest receipt that they cannot handle. Look at this, family. Yes, the ancestors of Native Americans are widely believed to have migrated from Siberia, to North America, crossing the Bering Straits land bridge. Look at this. Family, they say this migration is supported by archaeological and genetic evidence. Are y'all ready for this one? Oh, let's go there the way we supposed to. Let's do it like we used to it, family. When foundational Black Americans did all the regulating, when foundational Black Americans did all the G-checking, the thing that ended up working in our favor the most, y'all, was we started pointing at the place that they said that they came from. And then we found out that there ain't no way they could have came from that place. So the fact that they've been saying that they came across the Bering Strait. Look at it right there. Migration is supported by archaeological and genetic evidence. That sounds the same way as them damn reparations that y'all received, fraudulent. It's been a lie the whole time. So damn all of that archaeological evidence. Let me give you some FBA evidence because I said so. They tell you that they crossed from the Bering Straits. But it's crazy because we all know and we already seen that the Bering Straits was frozen. And when I say frozen, I'm talking about a polar ice cap. You wasn't crossing the damn thing for 15,000 years. So if you ain't crossed that from 15,000 years ago, then how do you explain 100,000-year-old evidence of activity right here in the United States of America? The only way that you can identify that is by coming to the House of Foundational Black America, knocking on that door, being on your best behavior, with your best manners, and telling us, yep, y'all was right, grandma wasn't lying. There you go. 100,000 years that we've been here is way longer than 15,000 years that they perhaps coulda, woulda, shoulda been here from a place that ain't no damn way they paused. Checkmate, 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 family. They know what it is. And now, since we've been so certified, it would not be receipts. And this would not be certified Black society unless we started to say that perhaps maybe even they themselves are starting to admit it. They thought that they was going to run that lie on us, family, and now they found out the hard way that FBA mentally, physically, spiritually got receipts. We got them archaeologically and we got them geographically, anthropology, and everything else, pimpology. You still gonna get that check, and we gonna have them hoes on the stroll. And right now they strolling right across. Family, they said that they came across the Bering Straits. They've told that lie to us since we were children, and since our parents were children, and since their parents were children. We have made them come off of the Bering Straits. Do you understand how significant that is? How powerful that is? That is a lie that they were trying to justify with science. And we always knew, ain't no way. Shout out to Kabahai Wat the Kamene. Shout out, rest in peace, to David M. Hotep, certified. A lot of our brothers and sisters been breaking it down. Ivan Sertiman. Shout out to the master teachers and shout out to us, because we were the ones studying, listening, and learning, to grandmother, grandfather, and the master teachers. And we all came to the same conclusion based on the dates. That polar ice cap prevented them from ever crossing over at the time frame in which they said. They purported, proclaimed, and professed that they were here in the United States of America when there ain't no way, because they were locked over there in Siberia. So that tells you, without a shadow of a doubt, uncorrupted, undisputed, that foundational Black Americans were here. And we were here alone. There wasn't a person. There wasn't anybody, there wasn't a group, there wasn't a tribe, it was just us. And everybody now has to deal with it. So when you check their paperwork, you find out the tribal documentations ain't real. FBA did that, exposed. When you check out the paperwork and you find out that the blood quantum ain't quantuming, FBA did that, exposed. And when you look at the Bering Straits and see that it was landlocked and ain't no damn way that anybody was crossing it, FBA did that, exposed. And we're going to expose some more. Y'all look at this. Now we got them admitting it. Natives, let's all just turn up in Siberia. Checkmate all goddamn day. Black Alpha Network. Let's go to work. The receipt of all receipts will put them to sleep.
So I've had a lot of comments on the last post I made, just into reference of what I'm actually talking about. So I'll get into that a little bit, and I'm in the pickup line to get my kid, so it'll save me some time and boredom. All right. So what I know and what I've heard and just what I've seen is that the GOV is trying to say that birthright citizenships of Native Americans isn't a real thing, that we were not here, and so it's not all right just to be a citizen of America, because now I'm hearing, because we actually came from Siberia and we weren't always here. So that's what came from Siberia, because we actually came from Siberia and we weren't always here. So that's what I'm getting at, is that there's a lot of different places I've heard, and right now up north, people's reservations are getting split in half and some are being sent to Canada. How is that possible? I don't really know. Also, I'm from Oklahoma. My tribe's here, if they give me the option of deporting me and tell me, you pick where you want to go, I'll just do that, because this is all I've ever known. This is all my family's ever known. This is where we're from. So I'm just giving the backstory of what that was about. The Siberia thing, I don't know. I'm just reading comments, and this is what everyone's saying is, we weren't from here. We're not the first ones here. Okay, I wasn't here. Weren't from here. We're not the first ones here. Here, we're not the first ones here. Here, we're not the first ones here. First ones here. Okay, I wasn't here years and years and years ago, so I can't really tell you, but from, I don't know, just history in itself, I don't know where the hell we're all going to go.
There you go. Told them, do it like you used to it, family. Do they have a meltdown? You damn right. Is foundational Black Americans standing on business? You damn right. Has all of that smirky, conceited, we number one, slave catcher, Confederacy fighting, ran out? You damn right. There you go. You seen it, you saw it, you witnessed it, you recognized it, you seen her say it herself. So we have G-check, regulated, exposed to the point where all of those smiles have been turned into frowns. All of that positive energy done turned into negative energy. All that disrespect done got G-check. Up with hope and down with dope. FBA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100 times. We always win because I'm FBA and I say so. Certified salute to my grandma. Certified salute to your grandma. What's real is real. If it ain't real, it ain't right. And everything that goes on will return to its original, indigenous, number one person. And that is foundational Black Americans as a lineage, heritage, and culture. Now we got them. Family, you seen it. We got them now saying, we going home. We are packing our bags. We are not the originals. You're doubting, you're hurting, you're shaking, you're wobbling, and foundational Black Americans out here winning in style with clear, clean cut fashion. What you got to say about that, family? Absolutely. You know what we're going to say about that? We're going to say exactly what our good sister said right there. ABK all damn day. Yes, it is. You seen every single receipt we put on the table. G-check. You seen every single documentation we put on the table. G-check. Trolls showed up, got G-check, and then we wrapped it all the way around with that person, and that individual was looking like that right there. I don't know where to go. We ain't from here, but we can't stay because this land belongs to FBA. Love being certified. It's that damn good. Yeah, man. This is the time and energy that we've been on, family. We have exceptionally done our exceptional duties and reclaimed it all. That's why I say this is the reparations generation. And we have reclaimed and repaired everything that was a lot. And you can start with the people who've been running around here self-identifying as someone they're not. We know for a fact that we've been working with and for the ancestors. Yes, the hell we have. We know for a fact that the ancestors are proud. Yes, indeed they are. And I'm proud of every single one of you because we've seen the older folks, the younger folks, East Coast and the West Coast, down south, up north, the brothers and the sisters and the kings and the queens and the goddess and the gods. We ain't got to go to Africa, family. We from right here. We ain't got to go to the diaspora, homie. We right here. We ain't got to run around and ask anybody, can they identify us as the natives we've always been? And what has always been will forever be. And that's why we say FBA for life. You better get with it. You better get with it because this is our generation, fam, and we are sending it across the whole damn globe. I'm loving the vibrations and I'm loving the energy. We have pretty much let the world know that we will always stand on business together. That's one good thing. But if you want to take it to another level, fam, and another step beyond us doing that, let me tell you as well what we're doing. You got things like this happening and you got people out here getting checked. And when these people are out here getting checked, they don't know where to go. Family, do you understand that we just seen one of them who've been perpetrating as us, upset and frowning, breaking down and saying, I'm leaving. Let's go back to Siberia. Yeah, the Bering Straits didn't work, did it? No. But that's all good. You can flee on back home. And FBA, we still home. Look at this right here, family. This goes to show you for everybody out there. You thought it was good in the hood, right? It ain't always too good in the hood. When some of these people popped up in front of some of these judges out here, and they've been trying to judge us, telling us we built this country. This country wouldn't exist without us. Y'all look what this judge tells this guy. It ain't too good for him.
All right. So he's going to be deported. I'm not inclined to put any holds on him because I want him deported if he's not supposed to be here. All right. So he's going to be deported. I'm not inclined to put any holds on him because I want him deported.
Damn. No holds, deportation. Ain't that the same exact thing that we just told Tonto? 1, 2, 3, 4, deported, and your ass got to go.
Him because I want him deported. Because I want him deported. Because I want him deported. If he's not supposed to be here.
There you go. Who ain't supposed to be here? Then they can't be here. And we have always been here. And that's the fact of the matter, family. We've always been in this country because we are the originals in this country. You're going to always have people who want our identity. That's just what it is. But they cannot prove themselves. And anytime somebody cannot prove themselves, the best thing that you have to do as a certified foundational Black American is put all your receipts on the table and you will hit them with the royal flush. Well, that damn royal flush done flushed them out. And now the whole world has to identify and understand that you can come up with every fake flyer. You can Juneteenth, you can 4th of July, you can diaspora, you can Native American. It's really the Native, Indigenous, certified, foundational Black American freemen. Say them all, just make sure that you put American in it because we built this damn thing and this is all ours. That's what it's all about and that's what it's hitting for, y'all. And we are such a beautiful people who come from a beautiful heritage, and it goes back on this landmass thousands of years. Fam, the very fact that we are here in the United States of America, a place that everybody wants to be, and it's all ours, and we represent it, you see exactly the power that we have. Look at all the things that you've seen of people trying to strip us away from it. They only want to strip you away from it because it's beautiful. You got something that people break their back to get to. And it ain't just something that we have. It's something that we built. It's something that we created. It's something we cultivated. So being a foundational Black American is beyond being excellent. Okay, at this point, being a foundational Black American, quite frankly, y'all, is exceptional, phenomenal, beyond belief. And everybody right now is beyond repair. They're beyond repair, fam. You can't fix these people. They're showing up trying to be like us and they falling out and crashing out in the process. Let me tell y'all how good and great we are. Look at this right here. You want to love some FBA culture, family? Check out this. Who on the planet Earth can say that they got it the way we got it, y'all? Tell me where I am now. If you can find anybody out there who thinks that they foundational Black American, they better wake their ass up and apologize. This is our lineage. Right damn here, fam. We've been through it all. We will continue to go through it all. But everything that we go through, we will go through as a family. We will regulate as a family. We will stand on business as a family. We will run people out the paint as a family. We've been running people out the paint since day one. We're going to run them out every single day. They want some of that ABK, we're going to dish it out. But we're going to do it in the name of exactly what we've always been about. Look at these beautiful brothers and sisters. Don't let nobody try to claim this if they ain't did this. Don't let nobody try to talk about what they've been through. Look at them. Look at them. That's where we come from. Those are our people right there, okay? That's our FBA family tree. So while everybody else is running around here trying to steal off of this country and everybody else is running around here trying to eat off this country, we were building this country and having a damn good time. You see the way they dancing in? Look at the way we dancing now. All right? This ain't diabolical. This ain't apocalyptic. This is foundational Black American excellence. And we are the most beautiful people on the planet Earth. And I got some beautiful brothers and sisters in the chat right now, if I do say so myself. And this is why I love this lineage, heritage, and culture, because despite what we've been through, despite what they put in front of us, despite the hating, despite the vitriol, we persevere. We always persevere. And if you notice, this isn't doom and gloom, family. This is not doom and gloom. This is love right here. And we come in all different shapes and sizes, all different skin tones and complexions. We're beautiful from head to toe, inside and out, physically, mentally, spiritually. Speak it, believe it, receive it. You got brothers and sisters who are light complected, brothers and sisters who are dark complected. You got all the beige folks in the middle. Shout out to my mama because she beige as hell. This is what we do. There ain't no tribalism. There ain't no beefing. There ain't no feuding. There ain't no fighting. We don't get mad at the other side of the village. We don't get mad at the other side of the zebra. We don't get mad at the other side of the jollof. We love each other. We don't steal somebody else's identity. We don't claim to be the natives. We are foundational. We represent it. We hold it down to the maximum. And we continue to represent that love, that passion, and that gracefulness. When we build this country from the floor up, nothing will move without us. When we stand on business right here today, nothing will move without us. When we love each other publicly, privately, and to the whole goddamn world, nothing will move without us. And no matter how much they doubt what FBA has created, they'll never stop it, because this world cannot move without our energy. Certified all the damn time. Peace and love. Family, y'all know that we are here. Everyone else, who gives a damn? Y'all know we're here. Everybody else, who gives a damn? Y'all know they're going to run that check, and Foundational Black Americans is going to bring it on back. Yes, indeed. I love every single one of y'all with a passion. It has been my honor and my pleasure to sit here every week and chop it up with you guys, and just to break down what we deal with as a lineage, heritage, and culture, to break down everything that we go through. But family, if we ain't going through it together, we ain't going through it correctly. And we are the sole survivors, all right? We're not a rose that grew from concrete. We're a whole damn rose garden that grew from concrete, all right? When the sun shines, it's shining down on us. And anybody who stands close, fam, they just catching them rays. Why you think there's always somebody lurking around us, y'all? They lurking around us because they understand the sun shines right here in America on one lineage. The sun shines right here in America on one heritage, on one culture. So they feel if they can get around us and they can get a little bit of that light and a little bit of them sun rays, then maybe they could be like us. But you can never be like something that you're not built like. We don't run, we don't hide. We stand on business and we multiply. We don't run, we don't hide. We stand on business. Certified salutes to the sky. We don't run, we don't hide. We roll with all of our brothers and sisters, and our soul, spirit, and energy is divine. And that's the way we're going to continue to push forward. This is how we're going to represent in this generation. And when it's all said and done, they're going to look back on this generation. They're going to say, that's the generation that turned this thing around. But they did it standing on the shoulder of the ancestors. So that is the past, the present, and the future, all synced up as one, all regulating together, and all bringing that certified foundational Black American energy. And we second to nobody, y'all. Certified salute from the Black Alpha Network. Appreciate the love, family. We in here deep. Everybody right here on your way out, smash that like button. And we got some more. We dropping it, y'all. Voice of the streets, voice of empowerment, voice of the lineage, man. I love you guys. I need you to stay safe. Remember, y'all, health is wealth, and don't put your wealth or your health on the shelf for nobody else. Always make sure that you take care of yours. Much love to your family. Much love to everybody out there graduating. Much love to everybody out there just living, man. We just living. And we just living and shining, y'all. It's good when you got the spirit and the soul of FBA, because that means you know you're going to walk and can't nothing touch you. No matter how many liars or deceivers, they all going to fold, fam. And if you look, their asses is all folded up like a lawn chair. And FBA, we right here. Love y'all. Stay good, family. And I mean that from right here. Love y'all. Certified salute. Be safe. Can't wait to see you guys again. We're going to run this thing all the way back. This episode might have been the best episode ever. We done put 1 billion receipts on the table, but every receipt all points to the greatest lineage, heritage, and culture of all time. And that lineage, heritage, and culture is FBA all day certified Black society, y'all. Black Alpha Network. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. And as we always do, remember that Black is beautiful and beautiful is always Black. ABK all goddamn day, and free Huey. Certified. Let's go.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.